Greetings, one and all. I'm hoping that everything is working and that everything is fine. Quick little test in the chat if you can hear me. Yeah, we obviously will be watching the AOS thing. It's a bit too bright. Besides, I wouldn't want to sit and loud and clear and through another panel where they show off a single model. It will be very interesting to see what we get for the old world. Obviously, I'm going to be very, very interested no matter what it is. What is pay me? What is pay me? I don't know what that is. However, obviously we will be watching the Twitch event. Let me just make sure that let's get this up. Let's get this ready. Let's go in Greek. Let's go. Let's go. Obviously they're jumping straight into it. I will make myself smaller so I'm not like huge. Do forgive me. Oh, they're straight in. Oh, well, let me turn this up then. Sorry. Bear with.
We are here at the Warhammer Age of Sigmar preview. I'm Eddie, and I'm joined by Alex.
We're not going to mess about.
We're also joined by 800 people. Can you hear
This is AOS, just to clarify. This is AOS. Not that I really care about AOS, but it's on, it's live, so we're doing it anyway, okay?
Watching along live on Twitch. Alex, how is your Warhammer Fest going so far?
It has been absolutely fantastic. I was able to sneak into
Literally not paid any attention to the 40k stuff, don't care about it.
And obviously I was here for the Underworld's Warcry and Middle-earth one. What about yourself?
Yeah, it's been fun
nice.
talking about Warhammer, being excited. Have we got anyone else in the room who was at the Warhammer 40,000 preview yesterday?
Boo! Don't care about it.
Cool. And we got any Mortal Realms fans in today? Yeah? Okay, cool. All right, okay, so...
The old world.
Jumping on.
I like how they literally got almost silence for Mortal Realms.
I'm joined by Alex. Before we get too deeply into some previews, Alex, you got any Warhammer Age of Sigmar hobby going on at the moment?
Ooh, I'm making a little diorama for my Soulblight. So I'm a massive fan of Cursed City and all things.
Okay, this is sort of cringe. We'll talk about AOS and the old world after this.
Very cool, very cool.
Obviously.
I've been painting up some Cruel Boys.
Thought we'd just watch it in case there was anything of interest.
You're an orc at heart, aren't you?
Really
If I'm honest, I'm regretting it so far.
Some green things in this preview, but
You've been building cults of Celeste Dark Elves. Nice.
Right, would anyone like to see some new miniatures? Right, okay, we'll jump straight in with
I'm presuming all these guys are just old world fans.
Some new models that are on their way.
I really would be amused if the old world kills Age of Sigmar. Boom! Sexy.
Grab a flask of Gyronite wine and join in telling the tales of
It could be Empire, you see. That's the whole vibe.
Morning, we ride to war.
It's sexy though, isn't it?
And we ride for vengeance.
Oh, these are... I mean, I'm hoping, like... Imagine we get the old world stuff that looks sort of like this quality, but less stupid. But it looks sexy. I mean, is that a bent pole? Makes sense. My pole's bent, to be fair. They are sexy.
These
Like,
are
let's
the
be real.
Cities of Sigmar Free Guild Cavaliers. We've had a little look at some of the infantry on their way for the Cities of Sigmar, and this is their heavy cavalry. Alex, what do we know about Free Guild Cavaliers?
And it just makes me more excited for the old world, if I'm honest.
Well, these guys are fantastic. Sorry, a little bit of noise from outside. So you can see there, they're aesthetically very similar to each other. So heavy knights, cavalry, armor, that kind of thing. But they're each individual. The different heraldry.
What they trying to do? Trying to do Bretonians? What they thinking here?
They come from different parts of the mortal realms, different cities, and they've all been gathered for a purpose. And with the Dawnbringer Crusades going out ever further, a heavy cavalry element is ideal.
Yeah, so each one of these is incredibly detailed.
Is this on for 30 minutes or an hour?
On them. One thing that's really nice is there's lots of nice flat surfaces on there as well, so you could certainly paint them very quickly if you wanted to and just, you know, have a nice unified force. But if you wanted to kind of go to town on them, you could absolutely, you know, have each one with very personalized...
Can I turn it up? I can.
Like you've got there with some unifying colors to kind of hold them all together. So there's that kind of idea of nobility and kind of each one might be like an individual duke or a fiefdom or something like that. So they can kind of riffing off that kind of ancient...
well, that's my worry, blood synthetic.
And as you mentioned,
Especially with something like this.
we showed off a little while ago. You
And the
can see
base
how they
size
fit in
change.
really well with the army. It's the same thing. The theme is all there to gather them all together.
that's
but
okay.
they're all very clearly from different places.
Yeah, and these ones are a lot more ornate as well, and you'll
Oh, yeah.
you'll see that as we show you guys more of the Cities of Sigmar stuff as we get more of it out. The infantry are relatively basic. They've got like a shield and a little bit of heraldry, and that's about it. These ones have each got a little bit more flamboyance, a bit more kind of detailed touches, and then as we see more and more impressive characters and units and things, they might have even more kind of gothic touches. There's a lot of very Warhammer features on these guys as well. There's quite a lot of skulls.
Skulls.
There's lots of kind of angular shapes and things, so they definitely feel very Mortal Realmsy. And
The
they're starting to
freehand
fill
with
out
the stuff on this is incredible.
that thing that's really been missing in Age of Sigmar, which is like, what do the actual humans look like? We've had Stormcast for ages that have been, dropping down to save people and save cities, but then, who are they saving?
That's
What
the
do
thing.
those
Is
people
this
look like? And
Empire?
army
This
kind of
could
fills
be
in that gap
Empire.
in the Mortal Realms.
I think like you could use
We've got a
them.
little bit of a comparison next to one of the old Empire
from where it says
Knights, so you
Sigmar.
can- So that's the glow up basically that you've got there, and you can see that there's a little bit of
Look at the
homage there to
bad
some of
Photoshop
the
on
old barding and styles.
That's it, the curve in the barding on the horse, that kind of thing, and that stag helm is really nice.
So very cool. So there you go. So that's a little look at the next unit for Cities of Sigmar. This army is on its way later this year, and we'll have more stuff to show you as the year goes on. But we've got lots more to tell you about. The next video is about the next big narrative for Warhammer Age of Sigmar in the Mortal Realms. So let's take a look.
Okay, I'm not sure I care about anything else. Man, this is a bit loud. Let me just turn this down a little bit. It's deafening me. Okay.
It has been many
Too new for the old world?
months
Yeah, probably.
since the Twin Crusade set out from Hammerhal,
With their gold,
filled with faith in the
chanting
God.
only the faithful. There
What is this?
walked those born behind. Call them no offense.
Is this
Only
beef?
those
But these are the dregs of society. Thieves and murderers.
Into the blazing
No choice
heat
but to
of
take the
action
coin malice.
and the
Yeah,
impenetrable justice.
yeah, blood.
From the very beginning.
And now with the bigger base sizes, they'll actually rank up, we think.
Still live out where we might claim
No one
our
said this campaign would be easy,
Where other horrors
but
lie.
none expected
What is this?
fast.
Witches.
This is just the
Oh, Sigmar. There's a Sigmar logo there.
We shall harry them.
Tell
Is this
them to
Stormcast?
march on.
And
We are Sigmar's chosen warriors, and
Stormcast.
even we
for the dark gods demands.
Turn light to the darkness.
Dawnbringers. I don't know who or what they are. Are they Stormcast Eternals? Is the same as the Bretonian. That's true. That brown edging was a classic. What is that?
So,
Literally
Dawnbringers.
crap cinematic
Dawnbringers is. Oh, have a round of applause. Why not? Why not?
Because it was nothing. That's why not. No round of applause needed.
Dawnbringers is the next major narrative for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. This is a story that chronicles two huge crusades that are setting out from the twin city of Hammerhal, one into the realm of fire, one into the realm of life.
Okay.
A huge new narrative that will cover all the Grand Alliances and loads of different factions. One of the things that we can tell you about it is that it effectively is about these two massive crusades, one of them into Akshi, one of them into Gairan. One of the crusades will
One will
succeed,
rise.
one of the crusades will fail, but you don't know
It
which
says
one
fall.
which as we start off. So you can kind of follow along, you can join in with the campaign and the narrative.
Is it one where
can
you
kind
have
of
to,
root for
like,
your
send in
chosen
your
crusade,
victories and stuff?
But one of them will effectively meet a horrible demise, and one of them will succeed. Alex, anything more you want to tell us about?
It's
Just
the
one little
story
thing,
for Age of
going back to
Sigmar.
that
It's what they're
picture,
saying. The next story arc.
Art in these books is phenomenal, and the Hammerhal Gyra there, absolutely beautiful. It's the breadbasket of the Mortal Realms.
Sounds
as it
more
were.
like a campaign.
You
Like
can see
think.
the realm gate there. So if any of you have watched Black Talon, or you're lucky enough to go to the cinema night tonight and you're going to see Black Talon, there's a lot more beautiful art that's in that of Hammerhal Gyra as well.
Yeah, I think
won't
one of
read
the things
that.
that's important to
Doesn't
say
like
about
I won't read.
Dawnbringers is that we haven't really had the chance to tell this story until the Cities of Sigmar release happened, because almost the main narrative of Age of Sigmar in this edition is this idea of these huge crusades setting out, and the bulk of the crusades is made up of mortal troopers, humans for the most part. So now that we've got this faction, they can actually play this huge role in the narrative, which they've always been implied, but we've never.
I think
been
it's
able to
basically the
explore
cities of
before.
Sigmar.
A little bit more
story.
cool new art for you. So there's some hints of some of the places and peoples we might see as we go into this. With the first book in the Dawnbringers series.
This is not the old world yet.
Which is Harbingers.
Just to clarify.
It will be a multiple book series that will span multiple
Books.
stories and touch on lots of different factions and different races. So there you go. So there will be new miniatures accompanying this for over a dozen factions.
We think this is
And we'll have
30
a look at the
minutes,
first
and then
of
we'll
those
just sort of
just
recap
now.
a little
So
bit.
we're gonna jump
I just want
into,
there just might be some Age of
look at the
Sigmar
first
stuff
one.
that's going to get
Sounds
used
good.
in the old world, so I was like, let's just watch it. You know, like the Lizard Men, like the Warriors of Chaos. That looked like a dwarf. Was that a dwarf? Was that a Slayer? Fire Slayer, whatever they call them. Is that a Slayer hero? Yeah. Slayers with hammers. I mean, you could use, in theory, you could use these in the old world, you see? I mean, it's probably very expensive, right? But there are Slayers in the old world. So, you don't have to... You don't like that? I think that's quite nice. I wouldn't say it's like the most amazing thing in the universe, but...
Here we go.
This
so this is a
Grimhold
new
Exile.
character for Fire Slayers. This is a Grimhold Exile. Alex, what do we know about Grimhold Exiles?
Yeah, so Fire Slayers are naturally hardy. You kind of have to be to run around wearing so little. And the Grimhold Exiles basically take this to a whole new level. These guys are the last survivors of their hold. So in the era of the beast with rampaging Aurochs and, you know, great herds destroying everything, this is becoming more and more common. So these guys,
Just a Fire Slayer, though, in it, to be fair.
the fall of their hold, they've taken it upon themselves to wield the sacred flame of that hold and strike out in search of
By the way,
vengeance.
I'm going to keep track of the
And one the
numbers
things that
watching
often
this.
happens when
12,000
these
people
guys
are
do
watching
is
this.
They basically encourage other Fire Slayers to
I'm
gather
curious how many
around
people
and
watch
join
the old
Metal
world stuff.
Crusade.
Let's keep an eye on that.
Cool. The first Dawnbringer book will actually be accompanied by new characters for all 4 of the Grand Alliances. So let's have a look at the next one now.
I'm going to write this down so I keep track of them. What's this? A plague? Whatever they call them. Slayers, but it looks like in the legendary Lord of the Slayers. I can't remember his name either. What is this? A new Harbinger. Oh yeah, it's the Nurgle. I mean, you could use this for the old world, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, these are... Some of these are just gonna... That's just a resculpt. Hey, it looks good.
Pretty cool. This is the Harbinger of Decay. This is for the Maggotkin of Nurgle. An absolutely beautiful miniature that I think will be much loved by painters as well as collectors of Nurgle armies.
It does look cool.
Very reminiscent of some really classic bits of Warhammer Fantasy art as well.
It is like Warhammer
there are some
Fantasy.
options in this kit too, so you can either kit him out with a bell, so you can sound
I
the
didn't see
approach
that.
of Nurgle and Plague, or you can give him a scythe, because it's just always nice to have scythes, isn't it?
Yeah,
Nurgle armies.
always good.
Alex, what do you know about this guy?
So these guys are the Heralds of Despair.
People will use these for the old world. They just will.
By Nurgle.
You'll just buy
They've
them
plied
for
their
like
trade
characters and stuff like
centuries.
that.
These guys have been abroad in mortal realms for who knows how long. But now they've finally come forth sort of in force. With these Dawnbringer Crusades coming out, there's loads of nice little settlements that are eager for Grandfather Nurgle's loving hug. And
They are mentioning fantasy. They've mentioned it a couple of times now.
Particularly in Gairan.
Nothing. Yeah, exactly. That fits like the old world.
Things about these guys is
No qualms with it.
The Plague God's followers are usually quite jovial. You've seen the Great and Clean one with his big smile and
He's a happy guy.
little Nurglings dancing around being all jolly.
Don't really like
But
the
this guy
base, if
is
I'm
very
honest, but
dour, and
I'm
so
probably could
the
live
other
without
forces
it.
Of Nurgle kind of, you know, maybe they don't push him away, but he's
The
not
Vox
part
just
of
looks
Send him off.
stupid.
Maybe you
He's
should
not
go
part
talk to
of the
some other
party.
people.
Yeah, he sits in the corner.
Okay, cool. I think that the miniature, for me, is one of the best miniatures of the year so far.
yeah.
It's absolutely beautiful model. I think I would be very surprised if a Golden
Pretty
Demon
okay for
next year there
fantasy.
aren't
Everything
a few
else
of
seems to be big and complex. That's true.
these. Right, okay, so that's
Yeah,
Order
like the
and
Empire, the
Chaos.
Cities of Sigmar
Let's
thing's
have a look at what
questionable because it's got like Sigmar written all. It's a bit gauche. Lizard Men probably okay. Oh, the old world is at 2 o'clock, so in an hour and 45 minutes. It's an hour and 45. I just wanted to watch this stuff because it is sort of old world adjacent. Like, we got some goblins, you know. Some people will probably use some of this for the old world. Sounds like what's that? The TV show everybody likes. Oh my god, I can't remember. Stranger Things. Okay, yeah. Looks good.
There he is. This is a
flying
rabble-rouser
squigs.
for Gloomspite
Oh,
Gits.
that's funny.
This guy is accompanied by some bat squigs, which I think were a hit when they came out with Warhammer Underworlds. So you can imagine these little squigs clinging
bat
to the
squigs.
underside of caves and things. And a rabble-rouser's job basically is to kind of fire up
That
the
looks like that
crowd
one would
of,
break off very
the forces
easily.
of destruction ready for a battle. They probably don't do all that
Probably a
much
bit of
firing
both
up,
blood
but
synthetic.
Just nice to have a little bit of extra encouragement.
Well, we know there's definitely
anything
new
else to say about
models.
this guy,
Well,
Alex?
we know
He's
it's actually
possibly the most
both.
stylishly dressed grot in the mortal realms with that giant squig skull on him.
Yeah. Anyone looking for cosplay next year, by the way?
Oh,
Yeah,
Indeed,
Seems
Ben.
like a hit, doesn't it?
But yeah, these guys, most grots, they're kind of along for the ride. Whereas this guy, as you said, he gets everybody roused up. He wants to just get the job done. He's in for a scrap. So he uses a mixture of sort of like insults, encouragement, and zealotry to rile everybody up.
I mean, he looks cool.
And send them great distances. But you imagine that a little grot, squeaky voice is probably, not particularly encouraging. So
I
there's
think we are
maybe
getting the old world
something
this
else
year. I
going
think
on
that's
here,
what they're going to
maybe
announce.
glimpses of
I think
good
the
co-op
final
or-
thing that they'll say will be a little
I'll leave
trailer,
that for you to,
and it'll
find out.
say
He's
coming
brought a very big jaw with him,
2023,
Oh, yeah.
winter
kind of projected
2023.
it louder. Don't know what squigs sound like. Do we know what squigs sound like?
And all the crowd will be like,
yes!
I wasn't very good at it.
What's the sound when one of them hits the target?
Kind of like a boing.
Yeah, that sounds about
November,
All
would
right.
make sense.
Cool. All right. So we've seen 3 of the Grand Alliances.
Exactly,
Let's
they're
have a look
definitely
at
gonna be
what Death
used.
have brought along.
Because they just look cool. Like anything that's like actually vaguely comparable, like goblins with them, they will be used in the old world. People will just buy them because they look cool. And it'll be a little bit different from buying the old world stuff. Oh, we got some undead. This guy sneaked model for a little while ago, and I'm so gutted. Oh, I didn't see that. We got, are they there not? Is this another new character? Are they just doing new characters? I mean, it's a cool looking guy. The Flesh Eater Corpse, obviously I think it's the new name, but we just know them as undead. Or vampire counts more specifically, I guess.
This is the Marrow Scroll Herald, a new character for the Flesh Eater Courts. Flesh Eater Courts are getting some good love this Warhammer.
looks
They
alright.
got some
Yesterday.
models on the way for Warcry. They got some stuff. This
Didn't
new character,
Snarsic get a
he is
resculpt?
an
Oh, I
emissary
don't know
of
about
his
that.
king.
Hey,
what would you
it's
like
me.
to tell us about this guy?
Do you look like that guy?
Marrow Scroll Herald-
You might want to go to the
Marrow
doctor.
Scroll Heralds basically go out and they muster the peasants for war. So the king can get his knights and his court together, but these guys go from village to village and round up the peasants. In reality, he's a flesh-eating ghoul that goes from village to village and spreads his ghoul madness. He thinks.
Oh, he was the messenger,
he's,
okay.
An honourable emissary going with his
Asmongold?
little staff, preaching about the righteousness of this conflict. He's covered in trinkets. In reality, it's just bones.
It's got the same hairline, I'll give you that, and the same physique.
But he believes
Don't
it
think
so
Asmongold
much
could carry
that
so much, though, could
even
he?
if you're just within his presence and hearing what he says, you start to believe it too. So those who are particularly weak-willed might even succumb.
Yeah, very cool. So, I mean, all of these characters are interacting with this idea of these huge crusades that are going out into the realms, and they're basically like pitching.
I mean,
for
these
their
are nice.
deities.
I mean,
lots
we've
of
done 20
recruiting
minutes of this, and
opportunities.
we've seen like 3 characters,
so,
I think.
One thing
Oh,
to
we
say
saw the
about
Empire
all of
stuff
these
at the start,
characters
the
is
Cities
that,
of Sigmar stuff.
in Dawnbringers, there'll be new regiments of renown for every Grand Alliance. Regiment of Renown is effectively like an allied formation that you can put into your Age of Sigmar armies. There will be a regiment of renown for
old school,
each of these
old world
characters.
stuff.
So if you have a Flesh Eater Courts army, you can definitely just take the model and put it into your Flesh Eater Courts army. But if you have a different Death Army, Chaos Army, Destruction Army, Order Army, you can add these regiments of renown into that force. So we can have a look at exactly what's in those boxes.
I always feel like that's
So
just
we start
like,
off
we want you
with,
to buy more, please.
The Chaos and Order
They do
forces.
look sick.
We've got the Shudder Hood. for Forces of Chaos, led by our new Harbinger. and
These boxes,
the,
I think you could just use these for the old world.
Anything you want to say about these guys, Alex?
Yeah, so you can see that it's Full Goths, Shudderhood, and Furies.
Dogs of War. Oh, Dogs of War. That would be cool.
So these are the names.
So new High
versions of
Elves.
those
New
characters,
High
and
Elves on the
feature an
rumoured
awful lot
list.
in
I
this
don't think
book.
they are,
So a
really.
lot of the
But the
lore
rumour list is
comes either from their
dwarfs,
perspective or their
humans,
victims'
Bretonians,
perspective.
orcs, chaos.
Cool.
I think.
Then here are the Forces of Destruction and Death. So, squig heavy box. Everyone's going to enjoy that.
Oh, yeah.
And then a whole bunch of ghouls.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
Ideal
look
for
cool.
going along if
I'm
you
a fan
were,
of these.
Going to grab that Warcry warband that we showed off yesterday.
Yeah, so a few more things to tell you about
Half
what's
of
going on
the-
with
oh,
Dawnbringers
have they?
for
I
fans
literally
of the
don't
lore of
know.
Age of Sigmar in particular. So two important things are the Path to Glory
They're
rules
free.
for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, which are the main kind of way that you engage with the gaming element, I suppose, of Dawnbringers. They will be made available free online. So if you want to play
I just
Path
don't
to Glory,
follow Age of
you
Sigmar
don't
at
need
all.
your big core book anymore. There'll be a free download to access them. And there will also be brand new fiction for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. So
Is it an
if you want
hour?
to Kind of
It's
read
a
some
li-
stories
okay, I
and
thought it was
follow
only
along what's
half an
going on
hour.
in
I
the
was getting a bit
narrative.
worried.
You absolutely can. So this is a really big narrative moment, I suppose, for the Mortal Realms and for Age of Sigmar. So we're going to give you loads of ways, whether you want to enjoy it through gaming or you want to kind of.
I mean, to be fair, the old world one's going to also be
That's it.
Horus
Just to
Heresy
say
as well,
the
isn't
rules
it?
for
Makes
those,
sense.
boxes are in this book.
I think they'll do Horus Heresy
Great.
first and
Okay,
then the
cool.
old world.
So I think we hinted a little bit that we might have some orky stuff.
Otherwise, they're insane.
At the start of this. So let's have a look.
Orcs. We're getting some orcs.
With
Orcs.
the second of the Dawnbringer books, has quite a kind of destruction-y feel. There's some quite cool stuff coming along with that book. Let's have a look at what might be my favourite model of the year so far.
I like it. This is the best model of the year. No, this one is. Get loud. Sorry, guys. This is loud.
Coming this year to the Gar Superdome, Superdome!
You need to use my Space Marine.
Monster!
True.
Action! See the Maw Grunter take on everyone! 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 If you miss this, you'd better be dead. And if you're dead, get Nagast to reanimate your soul!
Okay. I mean, are we talking high elves or are we talking cow elves?
I think they like it.
I think it's fair to say the video team had some fun making that video. So let's have a look at this guy up close. This is an Iron Jaws. Here he is.
People are loving that. Black Orc on a boat. I mean, it's a bit more than that, and he's got Black Orc.
This is an Iron Jaws
People at the
Maw
side.
Grunter. It's for those people who were looking at their Iron Jaws army and they were like, it's pretty unsubtle, but it's just not unsubtle enough for me.
That's
I
it.
want something even brutaler, even less, finesse. I want a massive, massive pig to charge into the middle of the enemy army and send them flying. And here it is.
And he's got little sidecars as well.
He's
It
got some
looks
little
cool.
sidecars, yeah.
A lot of the stuff looks cool.
It's
a
a
bit
huge
weird, this
monster.
one.
You don't really get a sense of the scale of it from this shot necessarily, because Iron Jaws themselves are quite big, and that's like a big boss on the back of it. So we've got a picture of it next to the current Gore Grunter, which is already quite big. So this is
huge.
it's a big monster. This is bigger than a Stegodon. It's kind of like
Bigger than a
big old
Stegodon?
base. Anything you want to tell us about a more
Bigger than a Stegodon.
Honestly, I'm not sure.
big.
It's just a giant swine. I can't imagine being hit by one of these.
Yeah. So a few things to note about this. This will be a multi-option kit, so you'll have a few different ways to assemble this. If you just really, really like big pigs, you can build this in a few different ways. So you can have characters on it. You can have it as like a monster unit
That's
option.
true, they're probably
You
not as
can
big as I'm
lean very
imagining.
heavily into
It's still
a kind
big.
of piggy theme, a kind of grunter theme for your Iron Jaws. So if you just want lots of cavalry backed up by some big pig monsters, you can absolutely do that.
Very cool.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. That might be my favourite model of the Fest reveals,
It was certainly
Sure,
my
it's
favourite-
cool and all, but
Certainly my favourite video of the Fest
I
reveals.
think so. Cool. Okay, well, that's the models we've got to show you today. We do have a bit of a roadmap to show you to run through
only
what's
30
coming up
minutes.
for Warhammer Age
So
of
it is
Sigmar
only
in the
30
next
minutes.
few months. So let's take a look at what's on the horizon. So there we go.
Roadmap, what are we
As we
getting?
know, we have Seraphon Battle Tome has come out in its special edition in the last week or so. We have
Trying to see if
Harbingers,
there's anything here
book
for the old
one
world.
of
I
the
don't really
Dawnbringer
think so.
series is on its way very, very soon.
I mean, the
and we
Seraphon
have a new
book,
General's
maybe.
Handbook, which will be hitting
But we've
in
seen
summer
everything
as well.
there.
So all of those releases in summer are only a few weeks away. In autumn, we have the much anticipated Cities of Sigmar Battle Tome will be landing with us, along with
I
all
think
the models
they
we've
do a
seen and
Q&A,
whole bunch of
but
new ones that we're going to
not on
share
the
with you
video.
over the coming months. We've got book 2 of Dawnbringers, which will
The
have
old
a
world
very
is in an
heavy
hour and
destruction
30
theme
minutes-ish.
as the Twin-Tailed Crusades kind of hit some
We're just looking at
iron-jawed
Age of
obstacles
Sigmar
as they
stuff
go
for now.
along. And book 3, which is yet to be confirmed. We have
Yet
another
to be
battle
confirmed.
tome on its way in winter, and then book 4 of Dawnbringers alongside it. So some kind of a little bit of mystery about what some of those might have, but you've got some.
I'd be
some
very
hints in there
curious.
already.
See, for me,
to
it
look
makes
forward
more
to.
sense to
Yeah,
do a
yeah.
video, but I could have
Cool
gone
stuff.
to this. Only in
One thing
Manchester.
to note is that the Dawnbringer series will touch on every Grand Alliance and will have new miniatures for over 12 factions, which is pretty cool. Right. If you're watching along on Twitch, that is the end of our preview stream. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed some of the models we've got to show off.
Is the old world only
cool,
going to be 30
things
minutes?
on their way. So thank you for joining us. If you are in the auditorium, you will now have a chance to ask some questions about.
Goodbye. Okay. Well, we'll have a look at the models, but that is officially over. Okay. First and foremost, the old world is going to be in 1 hour and 30 minutes, and I suspect they will show the Horus Heresy stuff first, and then we will actually get some hype. So yes, we do have 1 hour and 30 minutes to kill, but if you're like me, I don't care. We are just going to wait this out, and my hype levels are through the roof. So, let's do it. I'd be very curious if anything comes out of the Q&A that's actually interesting, but on the same level, not really asked. Yeah, 15 minutes of 15 minutes of the old world. Yeah, it should be. That'd be cutting it a bit fine, in my opinion, but it would make sense. 15 minutes. I think we're only going to see probably a full Tomb King model, probably a full Bretonnian model, probably a trailer that says release date in 2023. That's my 3 predictions. I don't know about you guys, but that's personally what I think we're going to get. I don't think it's going to be anything sort of amazing. It's Horus Heresy together, and they'll definitely don't get your ults up too high. They'll fill 20 minutes of new resin, contempted or not. Yeah, they'll fill us up. But it's I think we'll see 2 models minimum, and I think we'll see a release saying that they're gonna say, it's not gonna come out in summer, Aaron. Summer is 40k. It's winter. If it's coming out this year, it's winter. So yeah, don't get your hopes too high. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's going to be unfortunate, but yeah, there we go. I could see it being summer next year. Sure, it will be another map. There probably will be another map. Let's face it. You make a valid point. I just hope we get a good rule set. New miniatures and release minis are given, so with that in mind, I hope we can get behind it, and thus GW will give continued support to the system. So, and hi, Vidokas. So the rules apparently are more based on 7th edition than 8th, which I do think is probably for the best. However, there were some pros and cons to that, because Steadfast sort of made it so you had massive blocks, which was a bit of a pain in the backside. I preferred the MSQ sort of many small, MSU style many small units. I think that's sort of where the game shined a little bit. But I want to see like 2 or 3 blocks of 20 or 25. And then I want to see cavalry and monsters and interesting stuff. That's what I want to see. And then we'll see where we go from there. What percentage of GW marketing, printing, stocking in stores, etc. are we expecting the old world to be there? I think once it's like very close to launch, it'll be very, very hype. Beyond that, like 6 months after, it'll be a very forgotten sort of thing, and they'll just keep it going a little bit like Horus Heresy. It's going to fall into the same Horus Heresy kind of release schedule. And it'll be that kind of hype train. So I think one of my first videos on this channel was like, hey, is Horus Heresy just another hype train? It's like, yeah, it is. And the old world will be another hype train. Great minis so far. Yeah, we'll have a look closer at the minis on the website in a minute. But they do look great. Well, at least it can not be worse than the Middle Earth reveals. You mean the diorama? I literally don't care about them. but I think, as I said, I think we're going to see maybe a new Cetra model. Is that the Tomb King's person? I say person, you know what I mean? The dude. I don't know what you would call them. Undead. The leader. I think we'll probably see a Bretonnian. I think we might see the Foot Knight. And then I think we'll have a trailer. And what it'll say at the end, it'll say Winter 2023. That's my prediction. Let me know yours. Furrow, I guess that is as good a phrase as any. Do you think we will need to touch bases to battle? Our weapons will work at it? No, you're going to have to. It's base contact. It's going to be base contact. There's no way they're doing the 1 inch away thing. It's base contact. They might, and I sort of hope they do this. I hope they stop doing the thing where it's like only base contact models can attack. I sort of just want it to be like the front row. Like in a real battle, let's say 5 people were against 10 people. Imagine 5 people against 10 people. It's not that 5 people only attack 5 people. It's everybody on the outsides would sort of come in. So I think you should just let the first row fight. Hopefully they make it a little bit simpler in that way. To be fair, the old world is being treated as a secondary system like Horus Heresy, not a massive number of releases, but some versatile plastic kits. Yeah, like, I think they're obviously going to bring back models and stuff like that because they need to, because you can't just have a game with like whatever 12 factions or whatever the hell we have without having some models to sell. So they are gonna, it has to be somewhat bigger in a way, in that the variety of models that they have are going to be bigger. I wouldn't mind if they do it that way, where like the whole unit can fight. I'm on board with that. That would actually sort of make sense. Apart from the fact, the problem is if you do the whole unit, what happens if you make a unit that's 40 man bigger? Like, is 40 man, can they all fight? I'm not really sure about that, because then you sort of have to say that Kings of War, the unit size is just 20 models or whatever. You buy the unit, you don't buy the models, and that would be quite a seismic change for the old world. And I don't think they're going to do that, personally. But I'd be surprised if they do that. So I think they're more likely to do, is it Oathmark? No, and they're not going to do that either. So I don't know. It's not really the whole unit. It depends on how they're armed. So speeds and pikes get more attacks. Oh, okay, that's fair enough. I could see them doing a hybrid. Yeah, like I can see them just saying the first 2. Like I could imagine the first row, no matter how many miniatures are in it, the first row plus the second, if you've got like spears or what have you. But the problem with that is, then does that mean people will want to go like 25 wide again? Probably not. You like 8 the best. How do I ban somebody on YouTube? I'm kidding. Do you think that AOS will be backward compatible with what has been revealed recently? So I think for AOS, I think the old world models, you'll probably be able to technically like put them on like little round stuff if you wanted and try and play AOS. Obviously, I'm not sure the base sizes will necessarily work, but I think they're definitely going to release trays where your round models will fit into a square tray. I think that's for sure. Third was the best. Never played third. There's a lot of focus on massive. Yeah, well, 8th edition had the Horde rule, which was basically, what was the Horde rule? It was like if you're 10 models wide, you could attack with an extra row, I think. Was that it? It was so stupid. 7th and 8th lost the Bretonnian Lance, so seeing that back. So for me, I think I started playing in 7th. So the Lance formation is like, oh, I don't really like the look of it. But I understand for a lot of people it's actually like the nostalgic thing. But I'm not really on board with that. I think I technically may have started a late 6th. But by that point, maybe my friends weren't playing Bretonnians because I just don't think I ever saw it. The Saurus Warriors fit comfortably on a 35mm base, otherwise they really struggle. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, Saurus Warriors, they're technically on 35. A bit of me at 25, weren't they? They could. It'd be a bit crazy to go up to 40mm though, won't it? I'm not sure where they're going to go with that. What faction am I really looking forward to the most? So I'm currently building Dark Elves, and when I say I'm building them, I've literally started one box and I put a handful on the bases, and I was like, forget that. But the ones that I personally like, I have. I don't know if you guys have this, because to try and stop me spending all my money that I have in the universe, I made myself a little spreadsheet. So just bear with me a second. I'm going to get my spreadsheet up. I'm not going to show you my spreadsheet because it's very sensitive. So my S tier factions, which are basically like I'm definitely going to do them, are Dark Elves, and then I have Empire/Bretonnians. So depending on what they do with them, I like humans basically. Then my next two are both Vampire Counts and Chaos Warriors. Then I would say probably Dwarfs. And then the rest beyond that, I'm not that interested. So I've got Wood Elves, Orcs, High Elves, Ogres. And then, you know, it falls off quite quickly. I'm not really interested in the rest. Working on Dark Elves. Nice, nice, nice. I regret selling my old Dark Elves, can't lie. But you played Dark Elves last tournament with the Malekith, did okay. Oh, nice, nice. And then the problem is that a lot, like, they were quite strong when I was playing them. I wasn't really playing them for the strength. I just played them because I really like the look of them. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I think base sizes won't matter because there are positives and negatives which even out. I think for competitive people will not be happy going to a tournament and playing with different base sizes, even if in some cases it's good and in some cases it's bad, because they'll feel like they lost because of the base sizes, and it'll start getting annoying. You have a 3,000 plus point Ogre army. Nice. Skaven are going to be available. Yeah, pretty much all the old factions are back, guys. It's not like... The only questionable ones will be stuff like Dogs of War, Chaos Dwarfs. I'm not necessarily... I don't think... If GW weren't supporting them at the end of 8th, then they're probably not going to get supported now. Maybe. Bretonnian's getting divided into... I don't know. It sounds like it's going to have 3 different playstyles. I can't remember exactly what they said per the article. They had like the standard one, and then they're going to have... what's the word? Like exiled. And then I want to say like renowned, but I actually can't remember the phrase. There was like a middle one that I can't remember, which is sort of your old school disjointed crew. Based on the Middle Earth previews today, I'm now worried for how little we're going to get. Yes, like let's not get our hype too high. As I said, I am expecting 2 models and a hint of a release window. I think they're going to say winter 2023. And don't get me wrong, guys, I'm still hyped for that. But we're not going to necessarily see... We're not going to see the whole starter boxes. I don't think. We might get a hint of what's in the starter box, but we're not going to get every model. They're going to drag that out. They don't want to overshadow 40k. Not that the old world even could overshadow 40k, but they obviously don't want to do that. So let's not be too hyped. But who cares? Let's just be hyped anyway. like don't be high on the old copium, but let's be excitable, if that makes sense. So let's have a quick look at what we were just sort of shown. Let me get that up, as my wife often never tells me. But a roadmap, that's why I think we might just get a window. We might just get like a winter 2023. Let me go on the Warhammer community website. I know you can't see what I'm doing right now, but community. All I see when you say Dark Elves is the guy burning their army when the end times happen. What an absolute legend that guy was. I can't wait to see the new miniatures. I just hope they keep them more grounded. I think they will. I don't know if we're going to see Empire. That'll be an interesting one if we actually see anything for the Empire. So let's have a look at all the reveals in one place. Let's just grab this. See if we can do that. Oh, this is actually not bad. Doesn't look as awful as I anticipated. Wait, this is not what I was looking for, mate. I'm looking for Age of Sigmar. Whoa. Whoa. Mate. Where's the AOS stuff? Is it not? Are you already not on here? What day is it today? The 30th? Mate, what? How much 40k stuff can they get for like 15 minutes? Okay, they actually did like 30 minutes, but 40k used to be overshadowed by Warhammer. I mean, did it? Did it ever really? I don't think it did. 40k was like... It hasn't been posted yet. Okay. I mean, fair enough. Why? Does this mean I'm going to have to record... if you're going back 40 years, maybe. It was 40k was a secondary. It was never the secondary game. Like, in my friends group, yes, 40k was a secondary game, but it was always a bigger one. It's on their YouTube channel. Oh, give me a moment. One moment, please. Recalculating. Problem is, I think I'm logged in. Okay, no, I'm not. Warhammer. I'd argue 40k is overrated. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of 40k. Like, I can't lie. but I don't know if this is gonna work. It's gonna be all off the side of the screen, I think. Let's see now what we've got. I'm not moving it because then I have to move the Twitch thing. So that's awkward. And I can't be bothered. It just feels like it'd be a pain in the backside. I mean, these guys, like, it takes a few minutes. It's been 10 minutes. The son of a guns. What here would you say isn't fantasy appropriate, like the old world appropriate? I'm not sure about this Sigmar bit. Like, I don't know enough about the lore to know if Sigmar makes sense or not. Starter box will be Fimir versus Halflings for sure. No, I don't think that's not at all rumored, Samot. I mean, it'd be interesting to see. The starter box sounds like it's either going to be Empire and Orcs or Bretonnians and Tomb Kings. Like, it's hard to say, people. I don't know if you're just kidding. You might be serious for all I know. Winter release 2023, couple of models, Bretonnian and a roadmap. Anything else would be a Brucey bonus. Yes, unto mention, that is sort of what I am also predicting. We are on the same level there. But this would be okay for Empire. I mean, the face looks like she's got it looks like a woman, and it looks like she's got a huge neck. Bring back the fishmen. Aren't they in AOS? Too fantastical in some regard compared to the old Empire. I'll give you that. I mean, yeah, there's a bit much. They're a bit much. I guess, like, fantasy is a bit simpler in a way. Let's protest. What shall we do? Should I go to Warhammer Fest now? Wait, what time is it now? 12:40. Warhammer Fest is in Manchester Central. It's in an hour and 20 minutes. I think I could get there. I'm probably, like, only 40 minutes away in the car. Shall I write up my banner? Let me get my banner. We want... it's the green screen breaking. We want fishmen, and I'll just go and hold it, and I'll streak. I could streak, but not really streak. I just get a sign and just run on. Fishmen! Nobody thought about that. Nobody expects the fishman streaker. I think that it's her shoulder armor making her neck look a bit thick. Oh, I see what you mean, because it sort of like blocks off her face. It just looks... just looks like a chunky monkey. Just interesting, but fair enough. A chunky boy or girl. I don't really like the written Sigmar there. I find that a bit gauche, personally. Other than that, I think it looks fine. A bit too many, like, a skull with the S on it. It's a bit like... Why would you... What kind of model? I guess it's not realistic, and I know that's a little bit weird to say, considering it's all, like, fantastical and stuff, but... The reality is, you wouldn't, if you were going to war, would you add all of this crap? Or would you just be a horse and somebody on top of it with a bit of armor? Like, if you were maybe doing a show, pageantry or whatever, yeah, fine. But I don't think in any universe I'm going to be like, okay, what I'm going to add for me for this fight, I'm going to add a skull and carve the S into it. You'd love to see the Chaos Snake men return. I don't think I actually know what they are. Over-designed. Horse armor. Yeah, I'm on board with the horse armor. But I don't necessarily think you'd go to all of this trouble here, like with the imagery and the iconography and the little braids, just for the combat. Horse armor, yes. But the additional extra stuff... Like, would you really add skulls on your shield? I mean, maybe. Maybe. Who am I to say? I don't really know. I mean, also, is this little helm here, is this reminiscent of anybody of the Bretonnian thing that we saw? That little stag one that we saw? It is to me. It sort of reminds me of the Bretonnians a little bit. I'd like to see a side-on glance. Okay, here we go. You can sort of see both of them. The old world benefits from being more generic. I think generic, weirdly, I think it is a positive thing. I know it's a bit weird, but I'll slide it over, but then I'll just slide it back. Oh, I can't slide it over because I've actually cut it off. Never mind. Extra is basically normal for iOS. I mean, it's fine. The stag helm feels a bit more high elf. Oh, yeah, the old cow elf. That's true. That's true. I wonder if these are decals or if these are painted on, because they are very, very good. And they look essentially exactly the same. They've got to be decals, right? I mean, those are so crisp. No, oh, wood elves. Wood elves. Yes, yes, yes. I jumped straight to the Carol's. Definitely a decal. I mean, it's almost identical, so it was very good. Look up Gothic Plate Harness. They are not as fantastical, but they are flashy. This sounds like one of my private searches when I'm offline. Gothic Plate Harnesses. It's going to be fun to see how they will solve the storyline with the Empire being involved in a huge civil war. It sounds like they're going to be... This is literally what this is what I Google. We are in some territory here that I didn't expect. I'm going to save this link. Look at this one over. Oh, you can't see it. There's some dodgy stuff on my screen, but never mind. Yeah, like, I'm on board with this. This feels realistic and sort of makes sense. This feels over-designed weirdness. But I suspect Empire's going to have different factions within it, like the Altdorf and all that kind of stuff. Instead of playing nicely together, you're going to actually, your color. I really hope they don't make it where your color scheme is relevant to what you can take. I despise that with like something like 40k with Space Marines. Like, I just don't. I hate it. I hate it. Decals would be interesting. I can't think of too many Age of Sigmar models that use them. Yeah, true. I don't know if they are or if they just made them for this, but it's interesting. I actually think for fantasy, I'm on board with this apart from the skull at the front. If you take off the skull, for me this would be very sort of Empire-esque. I don't know why, but the horse to me doesn't look very realistic. It looks sort of like skeletal. I don't know if horses' legs look like this, but something about it just suggests, hey, we don't know how to sculpt legs. And do you know what I mean? I just don't think they look particularly great. And let's have a look at a horse's legs. Horse. I'll just search horse rather than legs. I'm not really au fait with them. The skull is too much, and I like skulls. I mean, I don't mind skulls, but yeah. Can we get a closer look at this one? I mean, the leg, I think it's because of the fur. I think it's because there's no indication that there's any kind of fur on it. Like, look at that, and then look at this. What is this? What is that? What is this? You've been there, Manchester today, a bit overcrowded at some point, over 1 hour waiting. Oh, I can't get in there then, can I? Wonder how many models have been stolen. There was no chance to control it. Oh, I'll go and steal some stuff myself. Skulls are cool in the right place, sure. But what are those? What are these bones? This horse is like undernutritioned, undernourished, or whatever the phrase is. Like, what are those? I mean, okay. Can I find any horse that looks vaguely like that? This one maybe. Okay, look, it's its knee. And it's stretched, so it's sort of like it sort of makes sense in a way, but because you can sort of see its knee here, but Jesus, that looks so dumb. Let's have a close look. You can sort of see it. I take it back. There is a bone there at least, and it is when its arm sort of bent in like that. But why? I don't know, it looks dumb. Doesn't look very good. I hope they take away the problems of classic Warhammer, problems like make it faster. I got news for you guys. If you're expecting can't see it, I mean, what are those? Look at this one. What are those? What are those? I don't know. And you can't even see because I'm in the way, but there appears to be a random shell. I don't know what this shell is. It's just a random shell. Will vampire counts? Vampire counts. There'll be a vampire counts army. That'll be definitely a thing. But I think if you're expecting big changes from the rule set for the old world, you are going to be sadly mistaken. Removing individually based models in units would speed up things. I mean, if they, I don't know, you could do that. But they should look at speeding it up a little bit. Back then, they were still part of the Empire. Wait, what? Vampire counts were... Whoa, what? What? Vampire counts were part of the Empire. Were they not vampires at the time? Look at the tail on the right. Oh, it's beautiful. What are you talking about? It's beautiful tail on the right. What? Who's... The horses... Horses don't look like this, mate. I mean... They got some funky design there. Sylvania's the state of the Empire. I was hoping that they were going to make it. I mean, however they have to write themselves out of it, all of the old factions are still going to be relevant. Wasn't known... He was just a recluse. He'll be a vampire. You don't worry about it. Also, it's stupid if there's a single model left from a unit and that model is unable to join another exactly the same unit. I mean, that was always a bit weird, but I guess it sort of logically makes some kind of sense game-wise. It'd be very hard to track points and stuff like that. Because if you've got one model left, you're doing it based on the wiping out of a unit. So you go like, is the unit dead? Full points. Is the unit half dead? Half points. So, because Vlad has a real claim to the throne of the Empire. Okay, I literally don't know any. I was never big into the lore, but I am big into massive bones on my bloody legs. What are those? What? It's like 300 years beforehand. I'm not 100% sure we know the exact year. Okay, mate, I'm trying to look at it. Wait, no, what are you doing? Stay there. I mean, this one looks a little bit better, but the hair looks a little bit jank. If they botch all of this, a part of me will be happy with the models returning and just keep going with 6. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, you got to look on the bright side. I do think, and I've said a few times now, that the old world is going to dominate the fantasy genre of wargaming. Like, it just is. It just is. A new High Elf Dragon, and I will pee myself with excitement. Please, pretty please. Is that we? Or is it another liquid? Lily, to be fair, I don't know if you're a boy or a girl, but I was suggesting semen. I wasn't suggesting. It is what it is. You have 3 fleshy boxes. I think I'll use them in the old world. Allez. I do wonder if they will have additional parts in the box to build the old world Empire Knight. Yeah, well, that's. I think you might end up seeing some dual kits. I actually think that's a very realistic possibility that we might get that tease today. They might say, oh, these are actually going to be dual use with Age of Sigmar. Like, that could happen. To apologise there, Lily. People just thought the civilian rulers were strange. Well, they're not going to not have a faction. So all the factions that you think, they will write a rule for them. They just have to. Any guesses as to what Wallach is doing in the Border Princes in the Forest of Gloom? I don't know who that is. I don't know who these people are. We never used to see, my friends, we never used to pay attention to the lore, and we never used to play with special characters. So I don't know who anybody is. Food shortages in the cities unless the horses malnutrition stunted. Is that actually true, Mike? Because if that's true, it makes sense. But then why the hell would you put all the armor on them? I don't quite get why you then deck them in massive amounts of armor. And also, you can't really have them for the old world then, I guess. The old world will dominate AOS. I mean, that's an interesting statement. I used to think that had no chance. But the more I'm seeing, I don't know, maybe I'm in my own little bubble, but I am seeing a lot of hype for the old world. Cathay, yeah, well, we know they're going to happen, don't we? Like, because of the old world, Warhammer Total War. We'll get more news. Yeah, so that's an interesting thing, Liam. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to bring you that news because it's happening live. But once that news does drop, I'll probably make a video tomorrow, maybe. Warlock Harkon is the one who founded the Order of Blood Dragons Vampire Knights in the 6th edition and was an absolute unit. What a beast, what a chad. I'm curious, lore guys, how will they explain the old world when the old world doesn't exist anymore? What do you mean the old world doesn't exist anymore? They're not going to progress the time. They're not going to let the story get to the point where... They're not going to let the story get to the end times. They're not going to do that. And if somehow, some miraculous reason, Warhammer the Old World started overtaking the Warhammer Cities of Sigmar, they'd probably do the end times again, but be like, but this time the world doesn't end. But they're not going to do that. Like, it's just going to stay around forever in the old world. It's not going to jump to that point. They could, and if they really needed to, the old retcon. And one of the slants, the old ones, has come back to change the history as we know it. You know, but they're not going to do it. Like, as delightful as that would be. Did we hear about these knights being used in the old world? So we don't know that right now. We're just sort of speculating about it. A bit of me thinks some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't necessarily. So we'll see. You want Storm of Chaos to happen? Retcon the end times, imagine. If the old world becomes giga popular, we could see an alternative unit. So I think you're on some serious cope there, Toros. But let me just get my cope. I'll just find some of my own cope here. Let me just... I'm on board. I'm actually very much on board with that. I think the end times could not happen. I think they could retcon it. No, but I wish, you know. Does anyone here remember the Night Horrors? Night Horrors, are they demons? Maybe the old one will be like J.J. Abrams' Star Trek movies. It could go in an alternate universe. There could be some mage that redoes the universe. So these are the old world news, by the way, just to clarify, is coming in 1 hour and 4 minutes. That's when the event is starting. What we're looking at here is Age of Sigmar stuff. So just be aware that obviously this isn't quite the old world. We're just building hype. We're getting some copium on board. We're getting very excitable. I'm like so excited. I need to wee all the time. It's that kind of day. It's just gonna have to go like that. You know, it's just the way that it is. At the minute, we're sort of going through just looking at the old the old stuff, the new stuff for Age of Sigmar. Ever Chosen, they would be cool. The Dawnbringer of Decay, they revealed as an updated scope of the fancy one. Yeah, so that's an interesting point, Dean. So we will actually check that out as well in a minute. Imagine if the end time happens and we have a new AOS edition afterwards. It could. I would love for Age of Sigmar to die in the old world, replace it, but I don't necessarily see it happening. But to be fair, you know, when we're talking about how she's a chunky girl, she is a chunky girl. Let's face it, like she's not small. You know, fair enough, crack on. It's nice to see representation and stuff. I still think the whole thing is stupid with the skulls or what have you, but right, crack on. Didn't notice that in the video originally. And then you've got this one. This one looks quite, I don't know, it reminds me sort of Warcry a little bit, this one. It's very Warcry-esque. She looks awful. I mean, fair enough. Both Kings of War and Privateer Press War Machine have given their takes on that idea, so it's unlikely. What did he actually say? Basically, Night Horrors were people's nightmares made real. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Kings of War, I've got to say, they have that. By the way, Kings of War are redoing Dark Elves, and I've got to say, I'm going to buy some just because I like it. Best strategic move for GW would be to give us huge reveal and start the hype. Aaron, I disagree with you, but don't take it personally, it's fine. By the way, I'm on board. I'm okay with disagreements. This is completely fine, but we're going to be polite about it. So I don't think they're going to do huge reveals right now because I think they don't want to even vaguely consider the possibility of overshadowing 40k. Now, Warhammer the Old World has precisely 0% chance of overshadowing Warhammer 40k. So maybe I'm wrong and maybe you're right. So we'll wait and see, right? I'm on board with it. I just don't know is the answer. We'll have to wait and see. This guy, yeah, I'm on board with this. This one's obviously a bit skinnier. It's sort of funny that the horse is so malnutritioned, but the lady on top was quite large. I mean, fair enough. But yeah, same thing. Like, it looks good. It looks delightful. Probably over-designed. But I really hope the old world stuff is simpler. But are people going to be a bit like, how to put this nicely, a bit dumb? And if they see a simple design, are they then going to assume that it's bad? Same square knees. Yeah, Mike before was saying that that's actually intentional. But I mean, maybe. You want the Scarab King Prince Apophis to have a new mini? I mean, that could happen. Tomb King sound like they're going to be one of the focuses, so could happen. Oh, Aaron, sorry, you did a double take. Oh, there's two Aarons. Sorry, I wasn't very specific. We've got Aaron Shetter and Aaron Morrison. I do apologize. Or AAA Ron. to quote your actual proper names. Ron. Ron. All the fantasies, I mean, everything's stolen from somewhere. I'm stealing this idea of a live stream from the guy who did Twitch. This guy looks good. No cons with this guy. Again, classic over-designed. You don't need the bloody iconography. I really do hope that the old world is a little bit simpler. At least when I don't know. It looks good, but it's like I don't know if for me I prefer it simple, and I don't know why. It's not just because I'm a bad painter. Obviously, I am a bad painter as well, but I just prefer simplicity. I think his banner pole is bent. I said that on the stream. His banner pole is well bent. This is possibly 3D printed, to be fair. Who says that a stick has to be straight? I know mine isn't. Actual true it isn't, but never mind. If the old world is this over design, I'd be snipping and sanding a lot. Yeah, I would literally take off the horn. I would snip off the horns at the front of the unit. Like, is your horse going to attack? Like, is that a thing? I'd probably fill in this S. Like, I just don't like the S. I would probably not have a bird on the back. I probably wouldn't have a bird. I wouldn't have a hawk. I mean, just my personal opinion. I probably wouldn't have that. I hope they treat the old world like a long-term project and not like a 1 to 2 years event. Blood Synthetic, I think it's going to become like game number 3 or 4, and I think their plan is to just have it be around forever, and they're not really going to support it very much. It sounds really harsh, but that's what I think. But it won't really matter because it'll still be the biggest game out there for Warhammer Fantasy fans, basically. The old world is set well before Carl Franz was born. Sorry. Oh, there you go. Dawnbringers probably wants to distinguish himself on the old. Yeah, so in my head, Taurus, I sort of expected them to want to use the same unit and have it be useful in both. But it sounds like they're not going to do that in some areas. And these guys are one of the questionable ones. The Lizardmen and the Warriors of Chaos, they are obviously going to be useful in both. Some people will buy a guy like this and whack it and like change him so that the iconography makes sense, and they'll put him as the battle standard bearer. Like, it would make sense. It'll be cool. So there's going to be options like hobby wise, and that's going to be really fascinating to see. That horn was a thing that historically they were way smaller though. The horn? Which horn? But yeah, so let's just, I think we've done with the Cities of Sigmar stuff there. We'll jump on to the next whatever thing they have, which is the new Dawnbreaker campaign. Let's refresh this. Let's check the website. Have they actually updated the website yet? They have indeed. Also, they've got different articles. Okay, so we'll come back to this in a minute. So they've got this one, and this one. The spike. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. They were smaller, though. I mean, it's not that it just looks stupid to me. I can't say it doesn't look stupid. Oh, we got some different images here for anybody who wants to see those. This one looking pretty cool, not gonna lie. Again, classic. To me, it's over-designed, but you know. To be honest, it's pretty easy to convert them as models. You just change the heads, weapons. Exactly. You could change it. Like, that's true. They're all going to be the same kind of scale. So there's useful there. You could sort of try and fix the legs with a bit of green stuff. Obviously, bro, I'm really scared that I won't be able to use my new Saurus in Old World. I've ordered 2 more boxes of 10 from eBay, but they are just hard as fuck to rank up. They're going to get bigger bases, Tauros. Like, I think. Sorry if I said obviously. If I sounded condescended, it's not my intent. I don't know what I've said. I'm chatting poop. How many people are actually watching it right now? 110 of you people. 120. Lunatics. If you are liking this stream, press like. If you're not subscribed to the channel, press subscribe. I'm beautiful. I'm hilarious. Look at my hair. I'm so sexy. I'm not that knowledgeable about the old world. It's a bit weird because I never went to tournaments when it comes to the old world or Warhammer Fantasy. I was sort of, me and my friends, we used to just proxy everything. And then I was building a Dark Elf army when the end times started getting rumoured, and I just sold everything. but it's the game that sort of got me into wargaming, basically. So I'm nostalgic for it, but I'm not necessarily an expert in it, unfortunately. But things will change this time around. Hey, Fox! How sweaty are we going to get, mate? I'm already sweating. I don't know if you can see it. Nice to see you. Thank you for the question. Long time no see. Thank you. We got a nice little sweat patch. The smell is emanating. Can't wait. We're excited. So yeah, make sure you like the stream. I mean, if you're screaming, you're that excited, fair enough. Fox, by the way, if anybody don't know, we have a tradition that every time I have a live stream, he comes in and asks me how sweaty I am. And the answer is always quite a lot. We are all sweaty nerds. Yeah, I'm too sweaty. If we're having the Crusades according to law, 1449, both Britannia and the Empire launched Crusades, and Sultan Jafar was defeated in 1451. The Empire wasn't in anarchy until 1979. A bit of me wonders if they're going to retcon by saying, what you know about the history isn't the whole story. Do you know what I mean? We're not all... That's true. Lily, I don't think, is a sweaty nerd, although she did say she was going to pee. So, I mean, in excitement. So maybe not sweaty, maybe covered in... I'm such an idiot. I do apologise. I'm just going to shut up. The centre where the Warhammer Fest is taking place must smell like death. I need to practice my blinking. What are you talking about? I blink like a normal... I blink like a normal human being. I'm like not replaced by a robot or anything. What are you talking about? How would I normally wink? If they retcon anything other than the end times, we riot. Yes, boys and girls. I mean, we've already looked at these. I'm going to skip these because we've already seen them. Oh, they are showing the old stuff. Which, as you can see, there is a bit of like pomp to them, like the helms and stuff. But you can, in my opinion, it's a lot more function over form, if you will. Pretty cool though. Reptilian. I'm not a reptilian. How dare you? Werewolf says the bloody werewolf in the chat. Let's have a look what else we got. These look sick. You get it? They look sick. You get it? Because of Nurgle. Lol's got them. It's a lot more historical. Yeah, it's a lot more historical. I do agree with that. This guy's cool though, let's face it, right? The Harbinger, like, yeah. I don't really like the base for some reason. I don't really like the rock that he stood on. It's not for me. But he is pretty cool. Gnarly. That's an interesting word. I concur. Your Majesty. Gnarly. And even though this is also over-designed, everything sort of feels like it makes more sense on this kind of model. This is the updated the fancy. Exactly, Dean. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, Dean too. Karl Franz is now a furry vampire. I'd read that fan fiction. I could get into it. It'd be my kind of thing. How much longer until the old world reveals? Goatman says 52 minutes plus whatever time it takes them to actually reveal it. But 52 minutes is when it starts. I suspect we'll see a heap of rebasings that make it look more like the original artwork. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I wonder if it's even attached to the base. I'm presuming it's not. Dang, it's getting there though. Like, I can't speed up time. I know you might be excited, Goatman, and we're all getting a little bit too excited. But yeah, for sure. We'd be pumping this out. We'd be going. Pame, and somebody was saying, let's go in a different language. I'm not really sure. Plot twist, we will see no models. Aaron, get out of here with this negativity. You're bringing down my levels of copium. My copium level just reduced from maximum to 1 under maximum, which is 9.999. How dare you? Looks cool though, to be fair. I'd say those feet are separate from the base. They're nice and even too. Yeah, exactly. They look vaguely flat, or like you could very easily put it on a flat surface. Who is that horse from? This is the Harbinger. This is a new model that they announced for Age of Sigmar today. We will see miniatures. We will see miniatures, Lily. I actually truly believe that. We will see miniatures. And the question about Karl Franz, 2502 was his inauguration as Empire. Are the years in Warhammer the Old World not a standard Earth year? Like, is it longer than a year? Because, my god, the time ranges are, like, so crazy. My favourite race is probably Dark Elves, but I am a big fan of humans. But Dark Elves, probably right up there. There's quite a few other ones that I do like Bretonnians Empire. I do like Eye Helves. I like Ogres as well. There's quite a few. I like quite a lot of them. I probably like too many, so my wallet is probably going to absolutely cringe. But we'll see. AOS was a little bit disappointed. I wanted a full Citizen of Sigmar reveal. I'm a bit worried for the Old World. So, praying for a box set reveal and release date. That's not a year away. Oh, Goatman. I don't know to praise to you, but I don't think that's what we're going to get. If I'm honest, I think we're going to see 2 new models. I think we're going to see Cetra, probably a Foot Knight for Bretonnians, and probably an indication that the game is coming out in winter 2023. I think we're literally just going to see that. If we see any more, I may have a heart attack. So just be aware of that. Just be aware of that. Wasn't there a portal to the Old World that Gotrek found? Though through in another book, they made metal from the dead rock from the Old World became. Oh my god, Taurus, I do not know, but yeah. Skaven Skaven are interesting ones. Like, I never really liked. I don't know. I think I could never be bothered painting so many of them, but I actually sort of do like them. I think there's like 8 days in a week. At least that's how the daily rewards work in Vermintide too. 8 days in a week. Okay, that's interesting. Reminds me of the Deathbringer painting by Frank Vanzetta. I don't know that. I don't know it, but it looks cool. Then we have the I actually don't know what this guy's name is. It's Grimhold Fjorger, the Grimhold Exile. No, that's the dwarf. What's this guy called? He's called Sir Jorion Marascroll Herald. Sorry, I got that wrong. It looks good. No crimes. Looks cool. Somebody said he looks like Asmongold, and I have to say that is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. If anybody doesn't know who Asmongold is, do let me know and I'll show you, because it's hilarious. Skaven are easy to paint you to the size. True. I just think I got put off by the amount of people. It wasn't me who said it. Somebody said it in chat. I can't remember who it was because we were watching the thing, but it was hilarious, and I really truly appreciate it. So, it is what it is. Yeah, most hygienic WoW player. True, dude. True, dude. Dude, so true, dude. True and real. Skaven gameplay was legendary. Amount of games I've lost blowing myself up. But that's the classic in it. It's like the Orcs and Goblins thing where you are effectively sometimes your own worst enemy. Beautiful. Just absolutely, truly beautiful. Yeah, it looks cool though. Then we have another Fire Slayer, which, I mean, somebody's going to buy this and whack this in an old world army. By the way, for anybody who doesn't know this, I have another YouTube channel, and the game that I play on that channel is called New World. It's the MMO, so some of you know it if you know Asmongold. So I'm basically playing New World and the Old World. The next thing I need to do is find the current world, but I think that's just like current affairs, and I'm not doing that. The old Warhammer skirmish book would be a good idea. Yeah, so Graham, literally before I started streaming today, I was thinking I would like to see a skirmish, like something where it's like 500 points, maybe have the blocks be like 3x3 or something. I actually never played skirmish, so I don't know what the sizes were, but you could have like the blocks be like 3x3, have the horses be like one model be the horse or something. I don't know, like just have it so that you can play with maybe like 2 units, 2 boxes, and play like a full game. I think that'd be really cool intro into the game. Death Dealer, and yes, totally looks like it's based on the painting. Okay, I didn't know that. Samot. Ikit Claw invent nukes, so the Skaven are the best. Skaven are just so stupid, but I do like them. The medieval game plays that way. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. The slab. I think the medieval game is one of those games where people always like big it up to me. They're like, it's amazing. But for some reason, I just don't care about it, and I can't bring myself to care about it. And it's, I got nothing more to add on it. The Middle Earth game, yeah. Sorry, what did I call it? I was calling it the Lord of the Rings. In my head, I was saying Lord of the Rings. I'm not sure what I said, but I knew it was the Lord of the Rings game. Did I say what did I say? Medieval? Did I say Middle Earth? Whatever I said, I don't know what I said, but I knew it was that. Here's another one. This one is Braggett Big Talker. Okay, makes sense. with some squig bats. They look cool. They look cool. I could see this guy as being like a champion or something. Somebody will do it. Makes sense. And then they've got some new boxes. And that, I think, was pretty much it, apart from this next thing, which was the More Grunter is Humongous Hog who's here to stay. And this guy's a big boy. Big boy. Check out Warhammer Warbands, which was released in 6th and 7th edition, and it made fantasy work at small scale. It changed the minimum unit size. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That sounds cool. The range was with the arrival of the old ones up to the end. Are we talking about timelines? You have Bretonians, Beastmen, Chaos Dwarfs, Wood Elves, Greenskins, Tomb Kings on square bases. Nice. The rumours say that they might be releasing... Yes, they did say that, Aaron Morrison. If they bring back the Island of Blood and the Battle for Skull Pass, I will be very happy about that, because I do regret not buying those. It's a big deal. Today's a big deal. True. We are getting so hyped. The hype is real. 45 minutes. 45 minutes. I'm going to wee myself in excitement here. Me and Lily going to pee ourselves, but we're very happy, very excited. I will have a wee before it goes live, because I think I actually might, I might leak a little bit. I love Night Goblins, but I really wanted something else instead of another Night Goblin character. All I'm going to think of is we now, really. But because of the success of Vermintide, Mordheim coming back, I actually think it's likely we'll see Mordheim come back at some point. Maybe like a year after the old world. Mordheim, even though it technically might not fit the timelines, they can retcon it in whatever way they see fit, and we'll just see a Mordheim game. Like, I think that makes sense. Oldheim, beautiful. I'll take that. Great name. The main game was based around 1999. Mordheim to 2500. Okay. Age of Sigmar models. I think isn't it weird that almost everybody who wants the old world is like, oh, Age of Sigmar is just too busy. The models are too over designed. Are we just like bad painters, or do we just like the simplicity? I don't know. I'm a bad painter and I like simplicity, so that's my excuse. I don't know about you guys. You guys are probably excellent painters, but I'm terrible. Especially with all the renewed hype, they'd be stupid to miss that train now. They would exactly. It would be stupid. All this stuff looks great. Nothing overly fascinating, if I'm honest. If I was an Age of Sigmar fan, I'd be like, yeah, next year is our year. You can pretty much be sure about that. So many small details, it's a bit overwhelming. Yeah, for sure, agreed. Let me just refresh that. It's not live yet, but let's just get this ready. Let's not miss out on a single second. Will there be vampire counts? Yes. I know that the lore may not make any sense, but the vampire counts will return. Like, I guarantee it. It's funny how I trust what they call CA, something Creative Assembly with fantasy more than GW now. I mean, everybody hates GW, but just in different ways. It's all about getting the enjoyment you can, ignoring the fact that GW are trying to absolutely milk you. The more detailed the models are, the longer they take to get to the tabletop. True, so that's why it's a bit much for me. So I would very much appreciate some simplicity coming back. Will next year? Yes. So Aaron, that's what I was going to say, Aaron Chetter. I think if you're an Age of Sigmar fan, then next year sounds like they will get their new edition, which makes sense. When does it start? It starts in 42 minutes. Please just don't be Forge World Resin Old World stuff. Please. True, dude. The Old World has just been code for new Space Marine chapter. Oh my god. Imagine it. Imagine it's the long con, and it is literally just more Space Marines. The lore in both 40k and fantasy makes no sense if you look at the books and stuff. Yeah, exactly. Like, I always feel like you enjoy the lore even though you know it's sort of like a moving platform. You know things are going to slightly change. Somebody's going to do something someplace and somebody else is going to do something they wouldn't have done there, but they did here. You've got so many different writers, so many different people coming at it. Like, but is it the king? We think it is Cetra the king. Is Cetra the king, the pharaoh? We think it actually is. I'm not confident about Chaos Dwarfs. I don't think Chaos Dwarfs are going to be here. They might be eventually. But I don't personally see that happening. Personally. I mean, but I do. Cetra, I think, is coming. If anything, just a little spoiler alert, I've actually heard a rumour that Cetra is coming. I just can't confirm it, so I've not made a video about it or anything. You bet there will be new orcs. So on that Bretonnian image that they showed, there were orcs on the bottom of it, and it looked very similar to the old orcs. So I'm not sure about that either. So will they just show Cetra in the model? I think they're going to show us Cetra, Foot Knights, release date in 2023. I think that's going to be it. I don't think we're going to get more than that. The model you want right now is Kemrian War Sphinx. It's the best thing you've ever seen. Fair enough. Going through the skirmish book, the points called was around 150 for each side. I vaguely remember that Graham Bandit, if I'm honest. I do. It is ringing a bell, but I don't think we necessarily ever played it. But we'll see. Ooh, we are 40 minutes away. I possibly started the stream a little bit early. I appreciate that. But I didn't want to miss the Age of Sigmar stuff, so I was like, oh, let's actually bring it even more forward. This can take you back to when you were 8 or 9. It's nostalgia is the old world selling point. And they know it's going to sell. What's my profession? I technically work as a data analyst. But I basically just mess about in Excel all day. I'm not doing anything super fancy. What about your dragon? I don't think we're getting a dragon today, Lilian. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen. But I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. You need to sell your Necro Sphinx before they bring it back. Could buy a house or something after. That's the thing. That's how you make money with GW. You buy the stuff now and then you sell it in 20 years and then you become rich beyond your wildest dreams. Maybe. How old when I started? So I started really late. I probably started... it's an interesting question. How old was I then? Maybe like when I was 19, 20? Something like that. So I started when I moved... No, actually, I was probably like 21, 22. I think maybe 21. I moved in with a friend, and that friend played with the rest of my friends' Warhammer Fantasy, and I just started joining in, basically. And then they all proxied stuff. Some of them bought some stuff. Like, we had a lot of proxy models, just models scattered about. And then I was starting to build the Dark Elf army. Like, I built some warriors. I'd built some Dark Riders. And then the old world was sort of... the end times was rumoured. I just sold everything. You started when you were 17, 27 years ago. Nice. What about for the late 30s? Or what about for the late... I am now late 30s. I'm like 37 now. As for the loads of details on AOS, less is more. True. 25 next month. Well, happy birthday for then, obviously. Yeah, sorry, Lily. I don't mean to break the bad news to you, though. I'm very curious how many people will watch this Horus Heresy / the Old World combination. But the fact that it's probably going to be 30 minutes and the fact that they're showing 2 different game systems suggests to me we're going to get very small amounts of reveals. You're Korean and you're 37. I am 37. I am. Kaizen, are you also 37? Kaizen, Kaizen is Japanese, is it, for like continuous improvement? It's one of my things that I learned when I did business studies. But yes, so how many minutes are we away? We are 37 minutes away. Well, that's nice. We are 37 minutes away, and that's how old half of us are in the chat. We are 37 years old. What if the box set is just 40 different versions of Manfred? I'd take it. As long as we... What bad news did I break to Lily? That there's probably not going to be a dragon. She's... I forgot what dragon you wanted, if I'm honest, but she's looking for a dragon. I don't think that's going to happen. But you never know. Ooh, let me just check something. Okay, nothing really interesting. The High Elf dragon. Many apologies. I forgot about the High Elves. And then I started joking about cow elves. I really want Dreadfleet to come back. You guys are old. I'm only 34. Anybody younger than 37 is actually going to get banned, just to clarify that. They told us yesterday that the price of the 40k is between Indomitus and Horus Heresy, so Old World Star is a price. I mean, that'd be interesting. I don't think they're going to reveal the price to us or anything. Wait, Aaron is literally 24. Okay, that is too young. I think I should make it a, you know, people have like an over 18s. We should have like an over 30 rule. It's sickening. You started playing Warhammer something when I was 13, that's 16 years ago. Now I miserably play 40k waiting for the old world to come back. I think everybody who plays 40k is miserable, isn't it? Aren't they? Is that not true? It starts in 36 minutes now. You wish you could come to England to meet us? Or maybe at some point we'll go to like Warhammer World. Maybe we could all get together. A little... I was trying to think of a way of saying a nice meeting. Werewolf just says, no. What if the old world reveals have a box set of 74 Space Marines? Space Marine lieutenants. I'm on board with it, honestly. If they want to troll me like that, then I'll have a good laugh about it. I'd be devastated, but I'd have a good laugh about it. Gen Z. I don't know what I am. I'm always in between them. 30 plus 2 drink minimum. I don't like to break this news to you as well, Lily, but and everybody in the chat, but I've not drank in 7 years. Now that sounds like I had an alcoholic problem. I don't. I just stopped drinking. I just don't drink alcohol. You know what? I don't drink alcohol and I don't drink caffeine. I often tell people I think I am the most boring person in the world. Oh, Sindre, it starts in 35 minutes now. 35 minutes. Yeah, I didn't do it because of like, well, let's face it, the main reason I did it is I just wanted to feel superior over people. No, that's not true. I did it because caffeine was giving me headaches, and alcohol, I was basically just drinking, you know, like when we had like friend parties or what have you, and I was getting headaches just like instantly from the hangover basically, because I'd have maybe like 1 or 2 ciders or what have you, and I'd just get a headache. So I just stopped drinking. To fight the millennials, I literally don't know who's who. Do you think them setting the old world in an older period might be a disappointment for a lot of the people and everybody coming from the Total War games? No, because I think, Blake, it's going to be effectively the same thing. I think only like really lore-intensive people will actually give a damn. Personally, I don't think it'll be that important. But must admit that most of the 40k lads are so lore correct sometimes it looks like they are part of some cult. Like, who can be asked being that like lore correct? Like, for me, it's 2 different things. You have your lore and you have your game. If you're playing the game, just enjoy the game. I don't be hung up on it. You're going to need to grow more kidneys when this releases. Hey, Gareth Holman, it's nice to see you, by the way. I hope you're doing very well. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to have to remortgage the house, but I've not told the wife yet. Someone who's waiting for the Warhammer is not boring. Oh, thank you. You play 6th edition, not moved on. Fair enough. You come from Poland, we drink vodka, apart from the water. Vodka is water. I mean, it looks the same, visually. You're good. Nice to hear. You're doing very well. Good stuff. Getting a little bit overly hyped up. I started this a bit too early, but my hype levels are rising quite quickly, even though I'm probably setting myself up for disappointment. But it is what it is. I don't care. We're going. It is what it is. It is what it is. The sweat's dripping. The snot from my nose for some reason. Every time I talk for a long time, I get very snotty. It just is what it is. I'm not a millennial, am I? At 37. I was born in 1985, mate. How can I be a millennial? I was 15 in the millennium. My dad was a data analyst. Stupid thing is that you look like him when he was young. Wait, bite-sized, how old are you? Maybe I am your father. People say that I get 2 people that people say that I look like. People say that I look like Rich Evans, which slightly insulted, but not as insulted as I am as Sam Tarley. That's a millennial. I don't feel like a millennial, but fair enough. Feel like I was the one before the millennial, but probably not a boomer. You made it here. You want to see some dwarfs? Yes. You had a hide the Lysians, enjoying the evening walk, loving the chill stream. Chill. Feel like I'm on hyperdrive here. But thank you very much. Are you going to start playing soon? Is the question. I'll start. Wait, start playing what? You were a teenager at the millennium. True. I guess I was. You were hoping for a hex-based The Old World. Illuminatus, that is definitely not happening. You're nearly 50. Okay, I'm definitely not your father. But maybe you're mine. Have you met my mother? You might have done. I look like Jesse from Breaking Bad. Oh, I mean, it's probably better than the other 2. Who do I think that I look like? I don't really know if I look like anybody. I look like myself because I'm so goddamn beautiful. The new base sizes in the old world, although annoying. I think the new base sizes absolutely make sense. Rebasing is a pain in the backside though. But you will have a bigger footprint for sure. Silence. No. Everybody's like they're too stunned to type. They're like, oh my god, look at this Jay guy. He's so. By the way, my name's Jay. If anybody doesn't know that, it's like he's so sexy. I'm sickening. A young Burt Reynolds. I'll take it. Yeah, Taurus is getting timed out. He's not careful. 30 minutes. 30 minutes, Remus. We're not going to miss it. Don't worry. Well, I'm not. Unless my internet dies. If my internet dies, guys, you should go on Twitch. But other than that, let's all enjoy it together. Very, 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 very hyped indeed. I'm not sure I can hold on. My bladder's. I'm sort of storing my Wii so that I can go with probably about like 10 minutes to go, so that I don't have to worry about it when the news is dropping. You know, I want to be fresh. I don't want to be like, I don't want it to be in my head. I will say, if you are here and you are enjoying this stream like some kind of lunatic, make sure you like this stream, please. You can also, if you want to support the channel, you can become not a Patreon. I mean, you can be, but that's not what I was trying to say. I was going to say subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I will literally just be covering the old world stuff forever, basically. Well, maybe not forever. I will at some point, unfortunately, die. But near enough, for as long as I can be bothered. And if you really, really do want to support the channel, you can become a Patreon. I got 3 Patreons. I really need to set up some sort of list where I actually can thank them. But I got 3 at the minute. Very, very big shout out to them. The youngster here. I hope we get more than just 1 Tomb King model. I mean, we might get 2. It might be 2. I think Cetra's a shoo-in, personally. I think that's like very likely. A hex-based Warhammer? It would, but that sort of feels like it's more of a skirmish game. Wait, it's a hex-based Warhammer, not just Warhammer Underworlds? Or, like, are you talking about, like, a big table one, where there's, like, big giant hexes? Bruh. Do you think they will stay with the table size? I think they will stay with 6x4, personally. If they're making the models bigger, Chris, then I can sort of see them keeping it at 6x4. I wouldn't mind if they changed it to like 4x4 or something, but it would sort of really change the game. So I don't think that's going to happen. You have to go. When does the old world start? It starts in 28 minutes, Thomas. It's 28 minutes. It starts at 2 o'clock UK time. I'm not sure what time that might be for you guys. Probably 3 p.m. if you're in Europe. If you're in Eastern America, it's probably, well, I actually don't know. 8 o'clock, maybe? Something like that? Not sure. Mate, great stream. Cheers, man. But it's getting late here in Australia. Oh, my God. If you're in Australia, go to bed. It's well late. But thank you so much for the follow. I'll be, for the follow. For stopping by, I'll be Pog. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful sleep. If you want to check the channel, there'll be a video going through all of the reveals tonight. Almost as soon as this stream ends, I'm going to record a video, so check that out. It depends where you are in Australia, I guess, though, D-Petty, doesn't it? Like, if you're on the West Coast or East Coast or wherever, don't you have, like, some big-ass time zones? You will come back from Poland. Oh, no worries. Thank you very much. Remortgage? What I did? Teach the wife to play. Yeah, actually, I'm thinking about teaching her to play. Hex-based Warhammer failed last time. Yeah, I can't really see it being a big success. Anyone got any tips for starting Mordheim? You know, I've never played Mordheim. I played the video game, but never the actual war game, which is a little bit upsetting for me. If they change the table size, I hope they've taken into consideration the base size change. Exactly, so you can't, I don't think you can even make it smaller, Ben. Western Australia's a few hours behind, so it'd be like 9 p.m. To be fair, also D-Pay, I go to bed at like 11. I'm an old man. I can't stay up too late. Thank God I live in the UK, Scotland. True. I mean, it's good if you're a like Warhammer fan, for sure. Where are you guys from? You're Polish? A couple of you are Polish, I reckon. I think Thomas might have been. Yeah, there's a full website about Mordheim. 10 p.m. in the South Australia. It's 8 a.m. in Texas. Well, it's probably 7:30 a.m. right now. Broheim has all the rules. Start with one of the rulebook warbands. Okay, that sounds cool. 2 p.m. Sweden. In the 80s, lots of Citadel models came with hex bases, mostly characters. Plus, there were plinth bases for the Blandford Warriors. Literally, never heard of them. Wait, are you guys saying it's 2 p.m.? Are you saying it starts at 2 p.m.? I thought you guys were an hour ahead of us. I'm a little bit confused. I would have thought it would have started at 3 p.m. for you guys. I thought you were an hour ahead. 9 a.m. North Carolina. Literally don't know where North Carolina is, but I'm guessing it's above like Atlanta or something. Broheim. It's such a I don't want to slag them off, but it's such a weird name for a website. Yeah, it's 2:30. So it starts at 3 o'clock in Poland time. Finland. Oh, the Finnish. Can't speak any word of Finnish. I can speak like one word of German. Maybe. What are my predictions? My predictions, I've said a couple of times now, are Cetra, Foot Knights for Bretonians, release window being the end of this year. That's it. You keep mixing it up. No worries. But yeah, basically it's in 25 minutes. 25 minutes until we actually see our first new miniature for the old world in, I don't even know how long it's been. How long has it been? 9-10 years? Been a long time. I think they'll give us not a date. I think they're going to give us a season. I think they're going to say winter 2023. You can still get Blandford Warriors from the War Games Foundry, but they don't have the classic bases. I think they're going to start with Horus Heresy Blue Raven. We actually don't know that for certain, but if it was me, I'd be like, we want to build up the hype for the old world, so we'll start with Horus Heresy, get the boring stuff out of the way, even though you're a Horus Heresy fan, you're a big fan. And then I think they end with the old world being announced for winter 2023. That's my prediction. They will give us a map. There's always a map. They might give us the whole map. You're excited for Bretonia? Makes sense, Copper. Makes sense. Now, are you an actual copper, or like as in policeman, or do you just like copper? It's hard to tell. But I'm excited for literally anything and everything right now. I think they may say that they're going to give us a PDF of the base sizes. They will announce a delay for the old world to be released in winter 2030. No! I don't think so, but you never know. Okay. It's Willow's done a pee on the potty herself. Nice. We have a child who is 3 years old, by the way. Willow is my child. I'd actually rather get a PDF of base sizes than the new models. Yes, Taurus. Like, if they do that, like, I'll be very, very hyped. I know it's maybe not as interesting to a lot of people to not have new models or what have you, but I think it'd be pretty cool. Commenting on Warhammer The Old World live announcement stream is tough. Volume levels are going to be tough streamer versus Warhammer stream. Dave, I'm just not going to talk. We're just going to watch it, and you might hear me go, oh! But don't worry, the volumes are going to go... You'll hear the full volume from the old world. You'll hear it at full volume. From the website, from Twitch, it's going to be full volume. I will try and interject when there's no talking, maybe, but you will have full volume. Don't worry about that. We're not going to miss any wordage. You like the black and red checkerboard style? It's going to be a pain in the backside to paint. Yeah, I'm never going to do that. I'm too bad of a painter. Hopefully some high elf info. I know if we get a high elf dragon, we got a lot of P in the chat. I was going to start a 6th edition army, but we'll hold off on the old world. I think a lot of people are just going to hold off and play the old world at this point. You hope GW will sell the base. Yeah, they should sell them now, right? Like, now that they've said that, I instantly went on eBay to try and find some GW 25mm bases. Very expensive. It was like 10 quid for 5. I was like, nah. No news yet, Julianta. I would be very surprised if they show... Yeah, I'm not expecting that, Dave. Personally, I'm expecting to see 2 models in a release window. I'm not expecting anything interesting. Drew's like, WTF. Are you talking about the P comment? By the way, I'm going to make some very strange comments. It's just the way that my brain works. You have 650 dwarf miniatures, all on 20mm bases. What should I do? Nikos, cry? I don't know. Wait for the bait. You gotta wait till they start selling them, because they're going to be way cheaper, I think, once they start getting sold. Or you can buy some unofficial ones. They're probably just as good, to be fair. In the Hulk Chaos goes back to the Mortal Demon Beastman in the One Army book. Oh, that'd be interesting. 20 minutes to go. Well, technically, I've got 21 minutes to go, but never mind. Just use movement trays. I think movement trays would maybe make the most sense for you. Unless you're playing competitive, don't worry about it. I'm going to go to events. So just to clarify what my position is with the Old World, I'm going to go to Warhammer the Old World events and tournaments. However, I'm going to be really bad. My army's going to be painted badly, and I'm just going to have fun playing. I expect to be in the bottom half every single time, and I'm just going to enjoy it. The only game that I think I won't enjoy will be the first or the second game, where maybe I lose in the first game against somebody who's actually quite good. And then in the second game, there's a chance that somebody's also quite good, just got paired with somebody else who's quite good. And then I end up playing them in the second game. But my plan is just to be bad at the game. Are we going to be disappointed, Aaron? It depends on your expectations. I don't think I'm going to be disappointed because I think I know what we're going to get. You can buy bases anywhere, Joe. That is true. 10 minutes of the Old World. So we don't think it's an hour. We think it's 30 minutes. Unless they surprise us with a bit of an hour, I don't think that's going to be the case. You have movement trays, but in tournaments, what should you do? I mean, you should see if tournaments are going to be... I mean, movement trays are going to be fine for tournaments, I think. I just hope you're not the guy that burnt his eye off. I'm not the guy who burnt his eye off army for Warhammer Fantasy. I didn't burn my army, I sold it. I sold mine. I ain't going to waste some bloody money like that. And I sold it before it got properly announced. I sold it when the rumours were out. You have around 325 mil square bases. Oh, are they official GW ones? Because you could be absolutely minted on eBay right now. I'm talking you could become $1,000 earner. That don't make any sense, but you could make a lot of money, I think. You think it'd be 30? Yeah, well, I think the rest of them have been 30 minutes. I think it would make sense. Can they reveal a starter box? I don't think they are going to do a starter box. That guy's a proper meme. Is he still going? I'm very curious if that guy still exists. If he's still like, I mean, I'm not suggesting he's disappeared from the face of the planet, but does he still make like content or anything? How come no one ever sneaked some information from GW production or no employees leaked some information? I think they've sort of tightened that down. They feel a lot better at that now, if I'm honest. He burned himself. I mean, you gotta take the pain. He was in pain. The man was in pain. Bear with me. Somebody's messaged me on Discord. I just want to reply. Oh! Somebody's asked me. I'm gonna promote my stream here. Somebody's asked me, am I watching the stream? Let me get my own stream up, and let me give them a link. How do you share this? Bear with me, guys. I'm gonna give him a link. Right, I'm live. I'm live. There we go. Did I regret it? Not until like last year or when they announced the Old World. Sorry, like I didn't really. Well, I mean, I sold some Dark Elves, but they weren't really fully built, and I've literally just bought. I've got like. They're actually not in here, but I've got several boxes. I've literally got 7 boxes of these bloody Dark Elf Warriors. I've got like chariots. I've got all kinds of stupid stuff. Don't worry about me, mate. I've got enough. I've got enough grey. You was on Valrak Street. Valrak? Who? I've never even heard of him. Bloody Valrak. Bloody 40k man, isn't he? He's not got the jokes. How can you even mention his name here? You disgust me, Nate. How could you? He's a lovely guy, actually. I once saw Valrak in Element Games, and I was like, oh, like I was tempted to go over and be like, yo, but I was like, no, I feel like he's probably gonna get that too much. And then I like randomly interacted with him on Twitter, and I was like, I almost came over and said hi. And he was like, oh, you should come and said hi. You should have come and said hi. And I was like, no, I actually should have just gone and said hi. But I was a bit like, nah. But a very nice guy. He obviously lives in the Northwest as well. Maybe I'll become the Valrak of fantasy. That's the plan. One day we'll overthrow the 40k lovers. Disgusting, those 40k people. What we need. Am I friends with any GW input? Not yet. Unless anybody wants to befriend me. You have a metal model of that claw. Of Eket Claw, sorry. Interesting. You have only sold 10 Hammers 7th edition ones and I regretted it. Yeah, I didn't regret it at the time because I was like a student and I was moving about from house to house. Like, I couldn't really store it anyway. I am a northerner, yes. You're from Preston. I studied in Preston and I live near Manchester. I actually live near Warrington right now. Just I got no plans to turn into Valrak. He seems like a nice guy. I don't have any. That seems nice, but don't worry. I've been me for 37 years. I'm not really planning on changing. But if I become super rich, I will pretend that you absolutely mean nothing to me and you're all pathetic. No, I'm kidding. I don't think that Warhammer Fantasy, the old world, is necessarily my ticket to massive financial success. If anything, I think I'm going to end up being in financial ruin. Let's face it, I'm going to buy everything. I'm going to be in some serious financial ruin. So I'm actually from Lee. If you know the area, I'm from Lee, like near Wigan, is actually where I'm born and bred. Calm down, Arch. It's fine. Anyway, we're about 15 minutes away, by the way. Pieland. Well, so, right. If you're from Lee, you like lobby. If you're from Wigan, you like pies. However, I'm a big fan of a pie barm. So get a meat and potato pie, put it on what you might call a bread roll, a bap, a barm, and then you just eat it. It's also known as a Wigan kebab. Delicious. He streamed yesterday instead of watching the 40k launch stream at Warhammer Fest, which is cool. Yeah, like I could have gone to Warhammer Fest, but I was like, I want to stream it. I want to make videos about it. It doesn't really make sense for me to go, but it's literally like Manchester's like 40 minutes away from me. Pea wet. Oh yeah, love me a bit of pea wet if I'm going to the chippy. Nice. Meat pie with sauce. What are you talking about, Nate? You Australian? You don't know anything about food? By the way, I know Nate. Sort of, we talk a lot on Discord. So if I'm winding him up, it's friendly banter rather than me being mean. By the way, I'm never generally mean. If I'm saying anything mean, it's sort of in good taste. We eat those too. Oh, you eat well there. Joe is a lovely guy, sure, but Nate, on the other hand. Have I been to Scotland? Yeah, we went to Edinburgh once. I've been to Edinburgh once. A Brit is telling me you don't know anything about food. I mean, we Brits, we know how to make meat with 2 types of vegetables and gravy. It's delicious. I've never had that, Aaron. I actually don't know what it is. I think somebody meant, literally, a Paraguay. They sell them in Tesco. Somebody was telling me about them. It's like a dumpling, isn't it, Aaron? From Poland, I think. I don't actually know how you say it. I had Greg's on Friday. Delicious. I had a chicken bake, sausage roll, donut. Hey, oh, sorry. I'm going to struggle with your name there. Kriziek? Wow, I do apologise. I don't know how you say your name, but very welcome. Hello. Polish dumplings. Somebody asked me about that. I think I was talking about them just yesterday. You have a mother-in-law who makes the best... I don't even know how you say it. Do you say perigee? Perigee? I don't know how you say it, but it sounds delicious. Guys, we are 14 minutes away. Let's go into the other scene just so that you can all see that we're not going to miss a single moment of this. It's beautiful. We are truly living in an age in 2023 where Warhammer Fantasy is returning under the brand name Warhammer the Old World. I think it's a bit of a stupid name. Pierogi. Damn, I'm scared if they reveal one of the armies I'm about to sell. Pierogi. I need to try them. I don't even know what the hell they are. But I need them. By the way, I would like to clarify. A lot of people think that this is a green screen. This isn't a green screen. This is my actual wall. Just to clarify. Pierogi? I don't know. Legends of Aventures? I don't know. You can't. There's no helping me. Maybe they'll add some Noskers. I think we probably will see. We're going to see Kislev, I think. Well, at some point. Maybe not right now, but... you know, at some point. And I'm using the NVIDIA green screen effect, so this actually isn't a green screen. And if I do this, it'll sort of disappear. Woo! So it's my actual phone. Pierogi. You guys, Pierogi. Varag with clogs. I think I'm probably Varag if he lost his mind. Any rumours for elves yet? I don't think so. If this dog starts barking, I'm going to have words with this buddy dog. I'll get a buddy. I'm going to have strong words. You're saying G as if it's the letter G. You want me to say G, like G, Pierogi. Wait, you're not Scottish, literally, can't, with 100 British. No, I am from the northwest of England. Pig. Gee. Emphasis on the O. Pierogi. Oh, there's some possible Russian there, which I literally obviously don't speak. Hello. Pierogi. Okay. Pierogi. I don't... Spat on my mic then. Minutes away from the return of something that never supposed to return. True, werewolf. That is a great way of putting it. It sounds like some B-class horror. We are moments away from the return. I will, if you can hear this dog, I do apologize, but there's nothing. I will shut the window and I'll mute myself if I have to. I think we should not watch the stream until we get it right. No, no. Never get Scottish. I mean, it doesn't offend the English. It's probably offending the Scottish more. I think they're going to make rules for the AOS models to some extent, but not all of them. The ones that are applicable, the ones that aren't. So, for example, the Seraphon Skink Cavalry, I think they were sort of a remake of something that used to be in fantasy anyway, so they could very easily get rules. Fantasy boys. I bet GW found a lost warehouse and figured it might as well make some money. Let me just... What's going on here, mate? What's going on here? Oh, what are they doing? They're early. What? It's what? Okay. Panic stations.
Give it a minute, and then basically we can just say, hey, you know, the next round's starting.
They don't know they're live.
I'm just going to give you a little bit of an idea, set the stage for what's going on.
We may be live right now.
They're live right now.
It's supposed to be on a holding screen.
They didn't know. I'm gonna go have a wee. It's died. It looks like Forge World is coming. I'm gonna go have a wee. Where are they streaming? Their homes, it looks like. Damn.
Start soon again.
There we go.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We have been and were and are live. That's the way it works sometimes. Happy to be back. Werner, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Paul?
Doing all right. As you said, my name is Paul Murphy. We're coming back for just a few minutes before we jump to another preview. I saw some of the stuff out of the previous preview that the Nurgle Rider throwback to an amazing miniature from times past.
Yeah, some pretty cool stuff. And I'm sure everyone's excited for the Horus Heresy and Old World preview about to come online in just a few minutes. For the folks following the 40K GT coverage, the round 5 is starting now. We're not going to start showing any games. We're going to let the reveal happen. Once that ends, we will return to coverage of the GT.
But the Grand Tournament is happening right now. The players are, getting in position. They're going to be playing. We're going to join them about mid or halfway through the game, wherever we can. Don't want to get in the way of this preview. But while we have everybody for just a couple of minutes, do you want to talk about the top 8, Werner? Like, what is going on right now? This is the last round before we cut to brackets. Who's in contention?
Yeah.
Literally don't care. Oh, 1 second.
Out of this 9-round GT.
Literally don't care about that. Okay, guys. So, it's time. It's happening. This is the reveals that are coming. They're not going to get in the way of it. Fine, whatever. It's happening. If you're liking the stream, you love the channel, press like, press subscribe. If you really want to support, you can become a Patreon. But today, we are focused on this. My predictions, we're going to see Cetra. We're going to see Foot Knights. We're going to probably get a release window of 2023 winter. They're my predictions. I will move myself off the screen if I need to, if I'm blocking something. But obviously, I am going to be here. I will be making snide comments. When Horus Heresy comes on, I'll be like, what is the point of this? No, Nate, 2023 winter, let's go.
At the top seed, Votan currently in 2nd, Astra Militarum in 3rd, Space Wolves in 4th.
What kind of hype is this?
Astartes Iron Hand
I need like epic music.
And Blood Angels
in 8th. Forget this. I'll get this horse. Wait, no, keep the horse on there. Where have I gone? Bear with me. I need some epic music. Free rules. I think free rules might happen. If they should sell like one Skelly, it's winter 25. I will lose it. Dave, do not tempt me with this. Bretonians, yes, Foot Knights. That's gonna happen. Just burping in excitement. It's tournament coverage. This is the tournament coverage, by the way. It's muted because this is tournament coverage, and we don't care about tournament coverage.
After the reveal, it's gonna be awesome.
So we're gonna go ahead and pause right now. Let the crew behind the scenes get ready to do the reveal. Y'all hang tight. We're gonna be watching this as well. Cannot wait. After the reveal's over, we're going to jump back. You can see the schedule, and we plan on coming back live. We'll be joining them in mid-round coverage.
Nobody curse. Nobody curse.
Everybody,
Nobody curse.
Thanks for hanging out with us. It's a
Kiss,
pleasure.
Lev.
We will see y'all real soon. Hold tight for that reveal.
Yep.
Come on. Come on. They will show off a shield, a sword, and stay tuned for 2024. No. Yeah. This is the music we're talking about. Like, yes, we're getting hyped. Panic attack. No. It's time, boys. We're actually going to see our first miniatures. We've seen 3D. We've seen renders. We've seen bits of miniatures. We know that some of the old stuff's coming back. We know some of the bases are changing. I don't personally think we're going to see the starter box, but Aaron's got bellyache. I need to pee again. The excitement is palpable. The tension is building. I'm excited. The music is building. This is going to be truly fascinating. We're 5 minutes away from the old world returning. Something, as somebody said before, was never meant to return, but it is returning. It is the time. Get a jug or I'll miss it. I don't need to jug. I don't even need to breathe. We're going to just keep going. I'm never wearing pants. Follow me. I'm never wearing pants. That's the secret. I don't wear pants. Not even if I'm streaming. Not even if I'm at work. I never wear pants. The music is building. The hype is unreal. I cannot believe it. We're probably going to get Horror Series first and it'll be really, truly boring, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that we're the Horror Series. Nobody cares about it. Who gives a crap about that game? It's 30k. It's crap. 40k. It's crap. We're talking about Warhammer Fantasy. The nostalgia is truly great. Pants are overrated. We don't need it. Sitting on the logo. I don't even need the logo. Who cares about the logo of the game? Nobody cares. It's about the old world. It's going to happen. The hype is truly building. I literally ran out of things to say there, guys. I do apologise, but my hype is truly unreal, and I think we're all going to be getting ready for disappointment. But I don't care. Everybody take your pants off. If I say that in public, I'm going to get banned. If you're over the age of 18, please take off your pants. Gotta be careful what I say. I don't want to actually get banned. But, you know, we're already there. Nobody needs pants. The pants are off. I'm going to walk out in the street. I'll stream from the street. Nobody cares. Everybody's inside watching Warhammer the Old World. Are they going to have the GT banner? I don't know. I hope not. Hopefully they'll get rid of that. The undies too. I mean, I'm keeping that on just in case I accidentally leak something I'm not supposed to. For the lady, the old world, the music is dead. This is the quiet before the storm. The music's going to kick in again. The stream did go down very briefly, but it's back up. They're doing something else. F the stream. The stream is dead. In the UK, pants are undies. True. In the UK, pants are trousers. Undies are also sometimes known as pants and underwear. Give me the dwarfs. The dwarfs are coming back. You'll be disappointed when they show. They're just going to show us, literally, I think we're going to see 2 models. I don't think we're going to see that much, but I do not care. It is here. Everybody hit like. Yes, that's my kind of talk here. Hit like. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit subscribe. 4 minutes for disappointment. True, but I don't care. Get me this copium. Get me the copium hit again. I'm jazzed. I'm pumped. Wah! The breadth. I mean, if we get the starter box, if they reveal the box, I wonder if it's going to be updated. That'd be an interesting question. I feel like we'll get 1 model and Horror. Imagine if we get trolled and it's 29 minutes Horus Heresy and then 1 minute Warhammer the Old World stuff. I will be furious. Anyway, I'm going to refresh this stream because it feels like it's dead, but I don't think it's actually dead. Oh, it is actually dead. Okay, stream is dead. Not really. Okay, never mind. They'll go live. Don't worry. What was the point of talking about the bloody GT? Nobody gives a damn about 40k. No, not even the people who are playing it. They're all watching the old world on their phone. They don't care about it. If GW not give us loads of models, right? And I'm only expecting like 1 model, so I'm not really too stressed about it. But they're going to give us the red measuring sticks. Yes, the red measuring sticks and the plastic templates, they will return. The breath weapon, the 2 little circles, everything is coming back. We know it. We're excited. Wait, this whole thing is only going to be 30 minutes. Yes, Joe, we think it's only going to be 30 minutes. I'm not expecting it to last an hour unless for some reason they change their mind and they're like, the old world is so big. It deserves so much more time. Unless they actually come to their senses and decide to give us the full hour, I think unfortunately it will be 30 minutes. Falling giant rulers. Oh, the rulers will come. The plastic sticks will be here. You're going to have to guess your ranges. You can tell when Jay needs to be. He talks a lot. Honestly, I'm quite excited. Like, to be real with you, I'm actually just a bit excited about it. Like I said, this is my nostalgia game. I don't necessarily even think the game's all that good, right? But I literally just don't care. On Insta, you can see this the model silhouettes. Yeah, you could see that. Sponsored by Square Bases. It's like sponsored by Square Space. Square Base. That's a genius. Estrich, that is truly genius. Sponsored by Squarebase. If you want to make a game that isn't very good, but everybody likes it anyway, Squarebase is that for you. Whippy sticks. Quapow! True, the pain will be real. I think he's going to explode. They might be the big event than they feel. Yes, that's the whole point. I'm trying to make this more exciting than it could ever possibly be. I'm looking forward to the future when we're going to get like vaguely semi-regular old world reveals. I hope there's going to be enough boxes. There's a little bit of a refresh, but I'm not seeing anything. The time is now. The preview is here. I'm not muted, mate.
Hello, and welcome.
Yes. Let's go.
Welcome to the Warhammer Fest 2023 Warhammer, the Horus Heresy, and Old World preview. That sound is 800 excited Warhammer fans sitting in the auditorium, and we are also joined online by thousands of people watching along on Twitch. Big welcome to all of you. My name is Eddie, and I'm joined today by Alex. Alex, it's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me. It looks like I've got a bit of a head up on the competition there.
Yeah, I think that duel is going to go very well for you. I've got a really good feeling about it. Is everybody enjoying Warhammer Fest so far? Cool. Well, anybody in here for our previous previews? Come again? Yeah. Are you guys excited about some Horus Heresy stuff?
No!
Do you want to see some old world stuff?
Oh.
Okay. we might have a few things to show you. Alex, how is your Warhammer Fest going so far?
Oh, it's going absolutely fantastically. Obviously, we had the AOS releases this morning, and yesterday 40k. Underworlds, I was particularly a fan of the Flesh Eater Court's Warband.
Very cool. Yeah. Obviously, we have also seen a brand new edition of Warhammer 40,000 launch box showcased yesterday.
This crowd is hyped.
That was very much the kind of highlight, I suppose, the leading punch of Warhammer Fest this year. But it is certainly not the only thing we have to showcase. We're going to kick off today with a little bit more news about the old world.
Oh, they're starting with it. Oh, yes. Not what I thought would happen. I'm already wrong.
So the old world release is still a little way off, but we squirreled our way down to the Warhammer studio to see if there was anything they could show us about what they'd been up to, and we prized some miniatures away from them, freshly painted. Ooh. The paint's still wet on them, and we managed to cook up a little video. So you guys can have a look at some of the first miniatures we're ready to fully announce for the old world. So let's have a look.
Etc. coming.
The whole world will fear our wrath.
Etc. Oh, yes. Oh, beautiful. It's truly beautiful. In armor. Oh. What a beast. What's this? Empire? Well, Bretonian Foot Knight. I told you it was these two. I said the Foot Knight. Yes. Literally exactly what I predicted, by the way. Literally exactly what I predicted.
We will fight for our people.
The Orc Slayer.
Home. For the lady.
For the lady! Oh, that suggests the starter box. Oh. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
There we go.
The Foot Knight. I told you it was Cetra the Foot Knight. I told you. It's a paladin.
So there we go. There we go. Some brand new miniatures on the way for Warhammer, the Old World.
That probably is the
Let's
end.
talk about this model first. This is a Bretonnian paladin. This will be a familiar character to those of you who are familiar with the world that was, the Old World, in its previous incarnation of Warhammer Fantasy Battles. This is a questing knight. It looks like he's just lopped the head off a mighty orc warlord of some sort. Alex, what do we know about this guy?
So the Bretonnian paladins are kind of like almost like a lieutenant style character within the Bretonnian army, so they could be
a bit over detailed, but I like it.
And they tend to have the main force of Bretonnia is the Knights of the Realm, and they obviously can be on foot, they can be on horseback. But this guy being a paladin, he's the same. He's not necessarily taking the quest to go be a questing knight. He's not.
I gotta say, is that candles? Why are there so many candles in there?
You know, he doesn't feel ready, or maybe it's by circumstances.
I literally don't get it.
He's got lands and holdings that need him, because obviously when you go on the quest for the Grail, you've got to abandon all your earthly possessions. And there's some fantastic details on this model. And I think we've seen our first orc of the day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice little hint there about some of the other things that might be on the way for the Old World as well.
Oh,
it'd be very odd if we just had the head.
True.
Yeah.
Orcs?
Yes, fantastic details. That
Orcs?
stag helm is incredible. If you look on his back, obviously, if you can't afford
I love
horse,
it.
or
I
the
love
horse
it.
was killed, you are going to have to carry all of your own stuff.
Unless you got some peasants.
Oh, yeah.
You got some peasants.
How many peasants would you need to carry a horse load of stuff?
That bag looks
At least
difficult.
two, one for the front, one for the back.
Oh, yes, perfect.
Right, so this is a resin kit. There will be plastic kits
Resin.
on the way as well. What you'll tend to find is that all of the factions that come out or are supported for the Old World will see a mix of returning kits. They'll see some new resin kits, and they'll see some new plastic kits.
Resin
there's some
and
options
plastic.
for this kit as well. So, ooh, right, yeah, he hasn't got a helmet on. How cool is that, right? Yeah.
That one I really
So
like.
You get some options in terms of how you want to put this together. You get
Beautiful.
a helmeted and unhelmeted head. So if you want to have a kind of rugged-looking questing knight.
I know,
maybe
resin
lots
is
of helmets in
sometimes.
battle, you can have that as well. Or maybe the battle's over and he's kind of sticking his sword in the orc war boss. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Okay, well, let's have a look at that Tomb King as well. Here we go. Ooh. So again, a foot hero for the forces of the Tomb Kings. Alex, what do we know about this guy?
Yes, obviously the
Is this
Tomb
not
Kings
Cetra?
were buried, entombed, and embalmed by the
Bendy
mortuary
cast.
cult, and the whole idea was that they would be preserved as best as possible
And
and then
this is
returned to life.
disgustingly
That didn't go
beautiful.
according to plan, and no amount of embalming is going to keep you safe after thousands of years. And so when they've come back, you
This
can
is
see
nice.
the fantastic difference between the flesh and the
I
metal.
don't know,
So
Thomas.
the flesh is all withered away. You can see that spine there sticking out from his stomach. But all of his ornate golden armor still looks fantastic. The only difference being the Koppesh-style sword he's got there is all chipped and
Koppesh.
battered. So maybe he died in battle.
Maybe he's been using it since.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's absolutely fantastic model. Same again, it's full of beautiful
I thought I was
details.
expecting Cetra. I got very excited.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, and both of these models are sort of typical of the sort of aesthetic and style you can
This is just
see.
like a champion.
They're quite clearly very reminiscent of the stuff we saw in Warhammer Fantasy Battle, and they'll fit very nicely if you already have an army for Warhammer Fantasy Battle for either Tomb Kings or Bretonnians, or if you want to start a new one as well. So we've got a few more things to talk about, some details about what's going on with the Old World. So this is the map of the Old World. We've shown this a little bit before, but it just gives you a sense of where this game is set, basically, where the setting we're concentrating on. And we've got a few things to tell you about the time and the place of where the Old World setting is
Some
going to be.
lore!
So, the game is very much set in the Old World, and we mean that in, like, literally geographically, it's set in the bit of the world that was. It's called the Old World. In terms of the timeline, it's going to be during the time of the Three Emperors. For those of you who are familiar with Warhammer Fantasy Battle, that was the time just before the Great War against Chaos. So there's loads of stuff happening at this time. There's things like battles in the Border Princes. There are
We already know this,
Empire
don't
has got
we?
Civil war and infighting. There are
Nah, there's gonna be
undead armies
elves.
rising up. There are orc wars on the way. There's invasions from the south, from the Tomb Kings. A
You'll be
huge
able to
big Chaos
use your
army coming
rules,
down from the north.
even though they're not
it's a
fighting in the
really
Old World.
Exciting time, basically, and it also puts it hundreds of years before the events of the end times. So what you'll see is that lots of the mortal characters that are contemporary to the end times, you probably won't see, but you might see some things that are continuous that would still exist in the time of the Three Emperors. We'll also see lots of new characters, so named characters that are significant to that period in time. The focus for the Old World team has very much been on the factions that are battling at that time. So the armies that are going to getting attention are those ones that I've just talked about there, basically, that are actively fighting in the area of the Old World, whether they're invaders
so they're not going to get
they are the
attention
defenders of the Old World.
Wait, release date?
So a few other bits about it. So every time one of our factions gets covered, you can expect to basically see some returning miniatures. The Warhammer Fantasy Battle range is
every
vast,
8th edition army will be playable.
There's lots of really nice miniatures in there, so we'll give people a chance to get those again. You'll also see some new things in plastic. You'll also see some new characters and things in resin. So it'll be a mix of different things. If you've got an existing Warhammer army, you can add into them, or you can start a new one. The other thing is that even though we're concentrating on the events of the Old World,
so your elves and your vampire counts and stuff will be playable.
Army, it will be supported.
Chaos Dwarfs,
in the
no.
Old World. So if you have an 8th edition
I don't think so.
army, you will be able to effectively play it in Warhammer the Old World, which is pretty cool.
Kislev and stuff will probably come.
It won't come as a surprise to you guys that the first factions that we're going to be giving attention to
confirmed.
are Bretonnia and Tomb Kings. So both of those factions will get new resin models, new plastic models, and
but that doesn't say a new starter kit.
Armies as well.
Is that the new starter kit?
We've got a little bit of art to show you guys. The team that's been working on the new
didn't actually say starter box.
We've been working hard. Things like the
but it does say versus
coming out. And what they've basically been doing is trying to replicate the kind of look and feel and aesthetic of Warhammer Fantasy Battle and bring that kind of old world feel to some of the artwork. So I get to show you some new stuff today. So here we go. That's the first one we've got. Very nice. Ooh. Bretonnians versus Tomb Kings. You can see it's very reminiscent of the sort of style of art that you might have seen in Warhammer Armies books of old. Got a Bretonnian peasant there. That's one of the guys who might be carrying that stuff.
Yeah, very grizzled. Often those bows will be heirloom items passed kind of from father to son.
I'm a bit bored right now.
There we go.
Give me something juicy, mate.
Blessing there. So a lot of the lore of the Old World is fleshed out a little bit more. So
there will be a box. It's just whether or not that's in the box.
Slightly ritualistic, religious kind of feel to them will very much still be a part of it. Their weapons, particularly, will be blessed by various deities, particularly the Lady of the Lake and that sort of thing. And that's still true at this time, as it is at the events of the end times. Some Tomb King stuff for you there as well. Look at that guy. He's pretty cool.
He looks sexy.
So yeah, the Nehekarans obviously would sculpt big Shabti, typically in the form of giant warriors, their gods, that sort of thing, like Jaff, the jackal-headed god of war. And so these statues would be animated by having powerful souls interred within them. And yeah, as you can imagine, a sort of 9-10 foot giant obsidian statue coming at you would be absolutely terrifying.
Even if you are a knight.
Yes.
Cool horse. Yeah. A little more there. So obviously Tomb Kings have got undead creatures in their armies as well. A lot of these units might be familiar to you if you've...
I think they're going to drop a hint about the release in a minute.
Of old. But yeah, it's always nice to see them kind of reinvented and reimagined, isn't it? And then in terms of returning kits as well, you'll see things like the... Remember that guy?
Yes. Yes. The next roll thing is coming back.
So I think the Necrosphinx, I think, one of the later models to come out for the Tomb Kings, a really, really beautiful miniature that I think it's been a shame that we haven't been able to...
It is Forge World resin, just to clarify.
Models like that, really great kind of centerpiece kits, you'll have a chance to pick up again, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Okay, right.
The worst
afraid, guys, that is all
is
we've got about the Old World today.
What?
There'll be plenty more on the way. If you're in the audience today as well, you will have a chance to ask some questions at the end of the show too, so start thinking about what you'd like to ask. But we're going to move on to a little bit of Horus Heresy stuff. So we'll kick off with something big.
Jesus Christ. They didn't say when it was coming out. They didn't say when it was coming out. I don't know what I mean. They didn't say when it was coming out. They focus on the returning kits, hinting that they weren't giving attention we want them to give. Just some art and model. Like, okay, guys, right, what? I mean, I'm happy, but it's not. It is sort of what I expected. I sort of expected Tetra, but I was sort of wrong. It's a character, okay? So my insider thing is there. That could have been a blog post. It does feel a little bit underwhelming, sure. They didn't really tell us anything. It ain't coming out this year for sure. I still think it might be. I would like to point out that there was 17,000 people watching this as opposed to Age of Sigmar. However, that number has now gone up considering it's Horus Heresy stuff and people just like Horus Heresy. So that number not really applicable for anything. I can't see them dropping anything now. No, I can't see them at the end dropping a release date. Let's just mute it. Not asked about this stuff. It did, yeah. It was an interesting. Yeah, let's have a think about this one. What do we think? Why no release date, Tim? That's an interesting point. Why? There's a couple of things to unpack there, right? So let's have a look what we actually got. So they said that those new characters are in resin. They're not in plastic, but there will be some new plastic kits. The old kits are coming back. We sort of knew that already. We saw a paladin who had killed an orc, and they sort of hinted that there were more orcs to come. But then I thought they were talking about this, but they're actually not showing anything right now. There's that Tomb King who's, I forgot exactly what he is, his foot soldiery kind of character, looks cool. Obviously it's set in the old world, and what they mean by that is they're going to concentrate on the characters that are in the old world. So every army will be playable, but if you're not fighting in the old world at that time, they're not really going to concentrate on you. You want a date and a starter box? That would have been delightful. Now, they did then say the left seems displeased even when the crowd cheered for the old world. Yeah, I mean, they're probably like, oh god, we actually have to support this game. It's interesting to see that the viewer numbers is now going down. Now, they didn't actually confirm a starter box. They did say Bretonians versus Tomb Kings, but they never said starter box or new box. Has the reveal started? The reveal is over. They need to give the community. I sort of hoping maybe they'll end with the one little trailer for it, but I don't think that's actually going to happen, Rupert. I'm just sort of recapping. There wasn't very much. There was some art. Let's see if we can get it on the website or maybe on the forum. Just bear with me a second. I'll see if I can get the link. I'll see if I can get 2 models and some art, 2 resin miniatures and some art. It is a bit. We're a little bit on the old sad times right now. Let's see if we can just get that back up. Well, let's. Warhammer Age of Sigmar. It's not yet been posted. Doesn't seem like it yet. It seems really unfortunate. If I press pause or something here, because this is literally just a static image right now. Horus Heresy 1 looks like I just cannot care about Horus Heresy. I don't care. I will say that the numbers is going down for Horus Heresy. Doesn't look as hyped as the old world possibly was. Buying ridiculous expensive 5th edition grill. I don't think you necessarily need to. I was hoping for a cinematic trailer or starter box review for the 10th edition, but now I'm not sure we'll get that much attention ever. I think we will. We will. So back to the 1700s. I'm not sure what they did. Did they actually give a year? Don't know if they actually gave a year. It's what I expected. Apart from I expected a hint at the release date. I sort of expected a hint at the release date, and they've not given us that. So that's a little bit interesting. Horus Heresy is cool and all, but we're all here for the old world. True. It looks like the crowd reaction to old world took them by surprise, and then they were like, we have to pretend this is great. It's just, honestly, it's a disgrace. It's honestly just taking the biscuit. Hand weapons confirmed. Was it? I mean, I didn't really follow that much. I think this was more of it's still a thing we're working on. Yeah, let's face it, they obviously don't want to try and overshadow 40k. Right? I don't think they're even vaguely considering that. Plot twist, the dwarves always had cavalry, but due to a great disgrace, all the evidence was erased and deleted during the old days. So now we think there was never any. As long as they've not got bony legs. Well, I'm hoping when we get a box set that we get what 10th edition got with cinematics. I don't know if we'll get a cinematic. I think we might get one cinematic, but that might be it. You're not sure it'll be that year. They need to get rid of resin, Liam says. The resin is bad news. Seems like the old world is still a ways off. I'll press forward with my Warhammer Armies project. I still think it might come out at the end of this year. I still think that rumour makes sense. Even the text-based presentation. Like, a lot of that stuff we vaguely already knew, right? We knew when it was set because they've said that in articles. Like, why are you telling me that again? No, Nate, it's going to be sooner. Nay. It's going to be sooner than that. All the rumors are saying earlier than that. Nothing is suggesting 2025. I think it's at earliest this winter, at latest next winter. No, I don't think so. I think they're just trying to keep the hype in the bottle, basically. If we got everything, guys, we were never going to get everything here for release date in November. Like, look at 40k. When did you get 40k? No, yeah, but like, when did we get the 40k first teaser of the new edition? Within 4 months. We never got it at the end of 2022, did we? It was this year, I think. That's recently been like, it's been the last couple of months. We'll start seeing something. I think we'll start seeing the true hype train begin, I think, around September. They've given roadmaps for spring 24, and they've said old world. Yeah, but we got more than 2 models. Yeah, but they're teasing out the old world. They're sort of just being like, hey, you're still working on this kind of thing. You're printing your Bretonians now. By the time I'm done, the old world will be out. Probably Red Cup. I don't think there's anything stopping the release of returning models, even before box set. I think they'll probably do it all at once, I think. I don't think a while off is 2024. I still don't think so. Yeah, all the 40k stuff was this year. They were still releasing the old world Eaters. They were still releasing World Eaters this year in Jan-Feb. Yeah, like, it's all... You're expecting GW to do a literal 6-month hype window. They're never going to do that. They're just never going to... They were never, ever going to do that. It's not realistic. It's not how GW work. GW's hype windows are literally like 3 or 4 months long. They don't tell you stuff eight months beforehand. Obviously, the cat's out the bag with the old world because we know it's coming back and they keep giving us slight updates. It's something that they've never truly sort of done before. So what they're going to do is sort of just keep teasing us along. And I think 2 characters and a little bit of artwork is them keep teasing us along. I don't think it's anything crazy. I think it sort of makes sense. And then I think, as I said, once 40k is done and once that hype train has gone, probably around August, September, then they'll start dropping it. And I think we'll see it still around December. I still think so. The initial production cost for past inventory is higher than resin. Maybe they are afraid it won't sell well. They might be afraid. That is true. They will keep teasing along till the end of 24. I mean, you could be right. It could be next year. But I personally still think that we're on for a release window this year. Like, I would have liked them to have been like, hey, it's coming in winter 2023. And I did sort of predict that they were going to say that. But obviously that's not the case. Is it possible to get limited edition books if you pre-order from the shop? Or do they also have the same issues as trying to... I don't know about that, Dally. I'd personally never recommend getting resin to anybody in Warhammer anymore. Resin is garbage. I'm happy to agree with you all that resin is garbage. Does it make any difference to you guys that it's Forge World resin rather than GW resin, Finecast? Does that make a difference? I'm with you, Remus. I still think it's coming this year. You want it to be this year, but I feel like they don't want it to step on the toes. I think, but Nate, next summer is Age of Sigmar. Like, you've been hyped for this like 4 years. Yeah, I think we were expecting too much. I personally was not expecting a starter box. They want to make cheaper editions of the 10th edition starter box. Yeah, they'll do that as well. And they'll probably do that around the same kind of time, I think. They won't give some detail. The more detail will come once we see 40k, once that's out. Resin is honestly the worst, puts me off working on models. Huge difference between resin and Finecast. China supports resin very well, just saying. Yeah, let's go. Lily, are you live? Because what are you up to? My first Forge World resin order was mangled when I got it. Just got a refund and never bought Forge World again. Yeah, I mean, let's face it, guys. Not everything's going to be Forge World resin. It sounds like that's going to just be like characters. So I don't think it's going to be... We're not going to see huge new units in Forge World resin. And a lot of the stuff, you've got your old stuff anyway. It's not like the old stuff goes away. You can buy the old stuff probably. It's just like, do you want a paladin kind of thing? Crocodile. I'm a croc and I'm here for a shock. Oh, in a while, Crocodile. Characters and rare models. Yeah, it'll just be that, I think. Just characters, what they implied. Yeah, just characters. So it's not like I don't think it's necessarily a huge problem as long as the quality is good. I mean, we've had many years of it, so it's a War of All Mankind. So they're going to do the expanding Horus Heresy into extra stuff. Just annoying, really. Characters are some of the best thing, though. True. What's the best type of glue for old resin pieces? Super glue. Any kind of CA glue. I hope someone is brave in the QA and the cheers for the old world drowned out Horus Heresy. True, they did absolutely drown out Horus Heresy. And then the numbers of the Twitch stream slightly dipped afterwards. But that would make sense, even if it was the other way around. But it is what it is. Forge World was good 20 years or so, but Crapcast ruined it. Its pants still is. The new Warlord resin plastic stuff is so much better. You're just bummed because you were expecting way more. See, I was not expecting way more, right? So my expectations were a little bit in check. So I was okay with that. Oh, look. Horus Heresy 12 months. Yeah, exactly. So we're not ready for that yet. But look, it's spring, summer, autumn, winter, right? We're not ready for that because the game's not coming out only at least until winter, at the earliest winter. What would you want? You don't get a roadmap 6 months to 9 months before the game comes out. Like, I don't think that makes any kind of sense. Yeah, new characters and upgrades. A Primarch. New characters and upgrades. Plastic, resin. So I don't think that's even that weird. You're still curious if there will be mixed base sets or separate ones for the old world like that's an interesting question, Nick. Let me know things. Also, it does let me know things. I mean, it doesn't really say too much, but I guess the Legion command squad and melee weapons, fair enough, but yeah, for me, I don't really care about this. It's not really anything I'm interested in, but yeah, I'm not really disappointed. I know a lot of you guys are disappointed, but I don't really share the disappointment necessarily. Literally, what did I say? I said there would be 2 characters. I sort of assumed it would be Cetra because I'd heard a rumor it would be Cetra. So I said it would be 2 characters, and I said that we would get a release window. I was wrong in the fact that we didn't get a release window. Like, that is literally the difference. Yes, it's been some resin, but I don't necessarily have a huge problem with resin because I think that was sort of how it was always going to work. Now, the thing is with that, Grimhold, are they actually the starter armies? Because whilst it said versus, it didn't technically say a starter box. They didn't mention a starter box or a box. They just said it's set around then. Horus Heresy. I'm sort of just clinging on to this in case they do like a little teaser with the old world and they go like, hey, one more thing kind of thing. But I don't think that's actually going to happen. Not disappointed, but not overly hyped either. Knight or the Tomb King look great though. True, it's less than 15 minutes still there. We just not hyped. I don't think they would be the best starter box. It wouldn't make the best starter box, but I mean, they did literally say versus. So I'm a bit confused. A little annoying that they released new Lizard Men yet still didn't tell us the new base size. We need to know the base size. Like, that should be the next article. Should be a PDF with all of the base sizes for models that you can currently buy. And all the ones that are old. It says fin, as in for finished. I'm going to just turn it on to see if I can hear anything interesting. I don't think so. No, it's literally finished. They're all done. They're all done. You'd buy a Tomb King Batonian starter box. Finite. Okay, so I was wrong. I thought we might get a bit of a hint at release date, and we didn't. So let's see if we can find any of the. Can we find any of the trailer that we saw? Why have they not even put the old world stuff here? What the flip? I think it would be Brett's Tomb King stars. To Horus Heresy, they make a great starter box. So they will make a good starter box, I think. What about the rumoured release of the previous starter box? Yeah, we didn't see anything. They did say old models would come back off. The hint was it's still a while off. A while off could be like anywhere between 4 months to 2 years. Yeah, an Empire Orc box to me makes a lot more sense, if I'm honest. Is there literally nothing? Have they not? Why are they not posting it? Why are they so crap? I'd like to see an Indomitus starter box. I think we will get that kind of big starter box. Like, I am pretty convinced about that. I'm not convinced it'll be Tomb King's first Batonian, so I'm still not convinced. They did mention re-releases, there's just no deets. Yeah, they did mention re-releases. Well, we know that. We already know that anyway. That's not necessarily anything new. I'm a bit confused why the Horus Heresies trailers got up before the old world like models. That's worse than an NHS dental appointment. Hey, they just give me a brand new feeling, so I'm happy with them. Keep up the good word. I'm going to join the community in its sorrow. Are we really? I mean, wait. I don't know how many of you guys are still here. Let's do a poll. Let's do a poll. How do I do a poll? How do I actually do a poll? Start a poll. Are you happy with TOW news and info? Yes. No. No, let's just do that. Let's just do that. No, ignore that one. Let's just ask. Do they put I can't remember. Do they put resin in starter boxes? Typically not, do they? I don't think they do they? They told us nothing. True. Oh, you guys are not happy. At the minute, we're on an 85% no, 15% yeah. Oh, 20% yes. We're getting there. 50 votes right now. Cast your votes. Can you go down to Warhammer Fest and let them know I want a date? True. Do I have time to get there before the Q&A starts? It's only 30-40 minutes away. Why have I just refreshed that page? I just refreshed my streaming page. Please don't start streaming. I'm okay with it, but you definitely wanted more. I can't disagree with you in that sense. Let's just check the website. I'm trying to wait for the info to come onto the webpage so we can have a closer look at the models, but it's not happening for whatever reason. They just ain't doing it, Captain. They're not doing it. So we have an 82% no with 85 casted votes. So I guess a lot of you guys are not happy. I understand. Did the link go through? If you posted a link in here, the article is up. Okay. The article is up. Let me have a look. The article is up. Whoa. Can you go on my Can you jump in my Discord? It's up on the community. I'm literally on the community bloody website. What? What? Where am I looking? Here? Oh, I found it. It's literally there. It's literally there. Okay. So we saw this. I got a bit excited. I was convinced that was set for a bit, but it's actually just a Paladin and a Tomb King guy. Makes sense. I mean, the model looks great, but is there any news here about, is there anything else here? This is only the start. This is only the start of a flood of new models for Warhammer the Old World. Keep that in mind. I think that's because we've waited for a long time. I think some of you guys, I honestly do think some of you are a little bit overhyped. Don't get me wrong, I'm also hyped as well. Going to work on a Bretonian was exciting. Probably I collected small amount of Bretonian forces. I'm just trying to quickly skim over the wording of this. Satisfyingly varied armies before the game is out. We'll see. They're the first of many we'll see. New models for the game will be released in Citadel Plastic and Forge World resin. And they'll join a whole range of resurrected and revitalized miniatures from previous editions. I mean, we sort of already knew that. Oh, so they're actually going to bring back some of the old ones in resin? Bit of a yikes. We took our pants off for this. We did get excited for this. Can we please go back to the GT coverage? I'm not going to watch the GT coverage. Literally don't care about it. Sorry, guys. We got no actual info. There's very little info. I will give you that. A Tomb King from Nekahara and a Bretonian Paladin. They do look amazing. Yeah, they make a valid point there. No metal. Oh, wait. Whoa. They do say metal. What? Wait, what? Revitalized miniatures from previous editions of Warhammer Fantasy Battles in plastic, resin, and metal. Metal's coming back? What? What? I'm going to play Dark Elves and probably the New Empire when they come out, and then Bretonians maybe. What? What? I swear, if the starter box is plastic, resin, metal. What models can be in metal? What guy? What? That is old school. Wow. Okay. Metal is forever. Make all the weapons metal. I am... my mind is blown. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm confused. I'm just trying to check something when I do this. But I can't do it. Never mind. I can't do it, Captain. I just gotta do it. That are now coming back. Metal, why not? They took the old world too seriously. They have gone old school. They are not bothered. They're like, we will go old school. So they can fight this out and say, is that what you kept asking for? The TK metal means a lot of the Casket of Souls. That could be interesting. Wow, and my mind is sort of blown a little bit. I cannot lie at the metal. Why have I done that? At the metal. Okay, interesting. So one of the interesting things that they had was the text that they had. Mate, sorry, mate, but I literally don't care about the GT. If you could just kindly get wrecked. What I want is this channel. Sorry, I don't know what. Bear with me. I'm trying to do something, but I'm failing. So we want this one. You prefer metal over resin? I mean, that might make sense. I do have this article. It's just on the webpage. It's just on the front page. So we had the Bretonian Paladin. Cool. I mean, guys, I'm not going to comment too much on the miniatures because I think we can all agree they look great. Resin is an interesting one. And metal's even more interesting. Metal made to order. Just make some notes. So I was convinced that one of these slides was going to be like, hey, it's coming out this year. It'll be we already know this. The factions are fighting in the old world, so we already know that. Not really asked. There will be new models for many factions in both plastic and resin, as well as returning models for many factions. We already know that. Okay, so the first two armies to get attention will be Bretonians versus Tomb Kings. Returning models and new models for both. By the way, what is this font? It looks so low quality and pixelated. The Tomb King mini is so busy. It is busy, but it is a character, so I'm not really too bothered about that. At least a roadmap. Now, does this mean starter box? Does this mean starter box? It doesn't say get a starter box. It says get attention, but then why would you have the verses? Why would you put verses? This will 100% be the starter box. I mean, it has to be, right? Hey. And then what do we get? We just get some artwork. Is there anything interesting here? We get a Bretonian Blessing. The Ushabti is coming back. The Carrion. It looks cool. The Necrosphinx is coming back. And it's plastic kit glory. Yeah, I mean, fair enough, but... yeah, interesting. Yeah, I heard the starter... a lot of people... like, it would make sense for it to be the starter box after we've seen so much info and stuff, but yeah. I noticed that the old article from March showed off the plastic bits from the upcoming Bretonian models was the same helmet of the resin plastic. Yes, wait. You're right. It did mention plastic. But then we've seen that this is the helm, which is not the plastic bit. I think we'll just get loads of coverage from Brett and Zombies before the launch. I mean, it could happen. Because they are the only two factions without Codex for the later than 6. I mean, it makes sense that they focus on them. The reason why it'll be is because all the talk about how people miss Bretonian and they did not make it into AOS. That's that might be a fair point. So definitely interesting. By the way, I'll end the poll. It was 72% of people said they weren't happy with what we got. Just an FYI. Well, 71% technically. Ushabti concept art looks fairly different to the current model, so presumably a new kit. Yeah, new kit for. I'll write this down. New kit for Ushabti. Boo, GW, boo. My mind is. I just don't know how I feel about it. A lot of people are not happy with what we've just seen. A lot of people, I think, are a little bit disappointed. I think a lot of people had a little bit too much hype, and now I did maybe partly responsible for that, because I was, bigging it up. But I stand by it. I stand by that. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let's see where they were today. Okay. I would have been happy with the more models. They look like 25 mils. These are 25 mils. They're too big, in my opinion, to not be 25 mils, personally. In Sunday, will there be something? It is Sunday? What do you mean, sorry? Needed at least new base sizes and a hint. I think we now need a PDF of base sizes. I think we can all agree with that one. If you can buy the models and you can make an army now. By the way, what the hell are these candles? Can somebody actually explain to me this? Why has he shoved so many bloody candles in? Why is it so many instead of just one? Tomorrow is kill team. I'm so confused by the candles. Not enough candle to see in the. Yeah, but why would they look like that? It looks daft. If I'm honest, I would cut that off. Each candle represents a purged heretic. Is that actually the truth? I cut the candle holder off. It looks absurd. The candle holder looks stupid. Too much darkness. They haven't the science that fire needs the air to breathe. I don't get it. And the same belts are a bit of Space Marines laser design. Just to clarify, these are the same models. The only difference is the helm swap. It's because there's no electricity. Very dark. I get that. I understand there's no electricity. But why not just one candle? Why has he got 4 candles? 4 candles he's got. But those bases do look like 25 mils for sure. Cut the candle, then he's left with a plank of wood strapped. No, it's his bag. It is you are right. It would look like a plank of wood strapped to his back for no reason. But I mean, I don't really like it. It's cool they're doing head swaps. I mean, head swaps are cool, to be fair. I don't really like the antlers, but I do like the helm. I just don't like the antlers. 4 candles, mate. Hence the candles. So back in those days, they didn't have petrol generators. I get the lack of electricity, guys. They had no internet either. I don't know how to break this news to you. But I just don't know. I've never seen a candle holder with that many candles. You just go with one candle in the middle and use that. No Wi-Fi. Can you believe it? No Twitch, no Wi-Fi, no YouTube. Unbelievable. I'd never seen a candle holder like that. Tommy 4 candles. Like, it's just weird. Doesn't look very practical either. It was dial-up back then. No bottled water. Literally no bottled water. Unbelievable. We can't understand the candle thing. That's why we're just NPCs in the Bretonian Knights and not the other way around. It's true. They are the experts. It's a magical enchanted candle holder. True. They seem like the heads on the bosses at the minute. So I think due to the fact that they also couldn't pull their phone out. So they couldn't just get they couldn't get the phone out and do like this. Whoa! Oh! Hey! They didn't have this technology? That's unbelievable. Bit weird, isn't it? God, they're slacking. So they've gone with candles. Oh, okay. The candles on their helmets. Candles on their helmets, what a classic. Maybe they use a candle maker. They're showing the 7th edition book covers. Did they? Where did they show that? Where did they show the 7th edition book covers? What have I missed? Weird. That Slayer don't like a dwarf or like a pig. I don't like it. Wait, what are you looking at, Des? Are you looking at you might be a bit earlier on in the stream, which is weird. I don't think you're live. Okay, my mind is blown a little bit. So guys, I don't know if you're interested in this. I don't know if this will be something in the article. Let me get on the article then. There's a dwarf in the article. I've got too many windows open with my life, so just ignore me. I'm not even sure what you can see. What am I looking at? Oh! It is beautiful though. It is truly beautiful. You know, take candle. What is this World of Warcraft? What are they called? Goblins. What are they called? The Slayer looks awful. Nah, I thought he looked alright. Kobolds, thank you. You know, take candle. I heard will be mechanics for castles. Oh, that'd be interesting. Those are the 6. Well, yeah, they didn't have 7th edition books, did they? These two, did they? I don't think. Oh, Tomb Kings did. Tomb Kings had a 7th. Oh, Tomb Kings had an 8th edition. But Bretonnians didn't. Magical candle gives the blessing of the lady. Probably. 2 run is 4 candles. Yeah, that's what I was doing, by the way. I wonder if that is a vague reference to that. So those are 2 new models. So we're getting this Bretonnian, which I wonder if we can have a closer look at his back. What? I hate his backpack, by the way. I know, I just hate it. There's nothing I can tell you about it that I like. I like the model. I just don't like the backpack. I know that he's a Bretonnian on foot and he's carrying his own stuff, but I hate his backpack. Just, you love that so much? First time camping trip. I'm just not a fan of it. It just makes it look so much busier than I like. The 100 grubbins. Grubbin. I agree with you. It's interesting, but for me, it's not something I'm interested in. Is DS? I'm not sure you are watching live. I just want to say DS. I feels like you might be watching the old clip or something. But I do like it. It's just, I like this better. But if you got rid of the helm, I like everything that's like except this bit on the side. The other paddling model has a shrubbery. Johnny No Squires, have some peasant carry that crap, mate. Yeah, exactly. He's got no bloody peasants. He needs some peasants in his life. Get some peasants. What is he, a peasant? A peon? A pleb? Man, he's no squire, is he? And this guy, he is busy, but he's a character. And he is sexy, and you probably don't have to paint him so detailed. Like, you could very much do a lot of the cloth the same colour. But if I'm honest, I see that and I see an absolutely painting nightmare. Like, that would take me to paint anywhere near the equivalent of that. And what I mean by that is in my crap standard, that would take me about 4 years. Yeah, that's very detailed. He's got no candles. This man is an amateur. He's not even got 1 candle. What? The man has this. He doesn't even have to be fair, he doesn't have a belly. Maybe the candle is in there. If anything, maybe his spine is a candle and you light it at the top. They're too scared. They're flammable. They'll go up. They're dust. His eyes glow. Oh, he doesn't need candles, Gramnell says, because his eyes are glowing. He actually just sees. Wait, that's a bit weird. If the light is emanating from your... Wait, so the light emanates from his eyes, hits the object, and then bounces back into his eyes? Was there another pig slayer? I just don't know, but I love my dwarfs. I don't know if DS is up to date. I don't know if you can hear me. I think you're just out to... I think you've just got to be clever as they kind of help you out by covering a lot of the flesh bone with the gold. True, you could literally just paint a lot of this in gold. I would, for example, paint this section just pure gold and not worry about it. I wouldn't. I would paint it very simply. I don't like Tomb Kings. They're not my chosen choice. Chosen choice? It's a bit of a weird phrase. But Bretonnians I probably am going to buy. So I probably will buy this, but I'll do him in the helmless version. So, I'll not be doing this version. Have they actually added that to the Warhammer website now? Yeah, there they have. This just in, a local man doesn't like everything. Shiggity diggity, you make a good point. And also, shiggity diggity, you have one of the best names to say that I've ever heard. Shiggity diggity, shiggity diggity. It sounds worse when I'm trying to say it cleverly. But yeah, shiggity diggity. Genius. Brother, how can you not love the Hobbit backpack? Look, we have different tastes. It is what it is. It is what it is. We're all different people. We can all live our own lives. We're all just different individuals in life. Okay, guys, I'm going to go make a video. I very much appreciate you being here. I'm going to make a video about this, sort of try and summarize it, put it in a 7-minute video. A lot of you guys seem to enjoy the stream, if I'm not mistaken, which means I'll try and start doing a few more consistent streams. Is that something you're interested in? Bretonian Warrior on Foot was in, yeah, 3rd or 4th, I think. Great show, thank you very much. If you guys enjoy the streams, I'll try and do more. Obviously, whenever there's like a scheduled reveal, we'll do this, right? Every you know, Warhammer preview where we're going to get that, I'll do more. But we will do some more on like specific subjects. It's probably not going to be like every week, but maybe like every other week on maybe like a Sunday night, something like that. We'll come on and try and do a little bit of a chat. Just maybe take a subject. So make sure you subscribe if you're interested in that. If you're interested in Warhammer the Old World, make sure you subscribe. No point liking this stream anymore because the stream's over. So I mean, don't matter if you like it or not, mate. I don't care. But thank you for anybody who did like it. And subscribe. If you really want to help me out, becoming a patron is the best way. I don't know if I have any alerts set up or anything like that, so I don't know if I'd see it. But I always check Patreon sort of quite regularly, and I'll try and like add some content in there and stuff like that. You had fun coffee at 11 p.m. For the new world. Well, let's see how we go now. So the streams are not technically up as VODs. The streams are going to be in a playlist where the playlist will be public, but the videos are going to be unlisted. Just don't care. So you can watch them back, but I'm going to go make a video. I'd rather have this as a video than a stream put out there where it's like a live reaction. That's just the way I do stuff. I don't know what Valrak would recommend. Maybe I'll ask him. Maybe I'll ask what is the how does Valrak do his streams? Actually, maybe I'll just leave it up. Is that a bit weird? Do I just leave it up? I'm going to leave it up. We'll leave it up. I'm going to make a video of it, but I'm going to leave it up. I'm going to change it so that it's not unlisted. Okay, we'll leave it up. The VOD's staying live. Have a beautiful day. Much love to you all. Goodbye. Thank you so much. There you go. Send the picture of the night. You ain't sent me anything. What are you talking about? You have to do it on Discord, mate. It will go into like exactly. To be fair, I've got my old school head on where it will sort of go as a video, but you're right. It goes into the live category. So I think I'll just leave them up. So we'll leave them up. We'll be eye on that coping. I am going to go make a video though. Thank you very much for watching along with me. I very much appreciate it. I'll catch you all in the next time. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Have a nice bank holiday weekend if you're in a place where you have a public holiday tomorrow. Have a great night. Thank you everybody to stop by, liked, whatever you've done. Much love. Mwah. Goodbye. We'll catch you all on the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Goodbye. Now, if you've ever watched one of my streams before, you will know that I do a bit of a song at the end. So you can either close your ears or whatever you want to do, but I do a song. I don't know why. This is just a trend I started way back when, and I'm starting it again. So we've had Warhammer the Old World today. It's been such a great day. I don't even have any music, but I don't need it because my heart is filled with joy. And for some reason I'm doing this like it's a Disney song, but I don't have the voice or the music to sing along. And the old world, I know some of you were disappointed, but I think your copium levels may now be depleted. Now sometimes I do a song that is a bit more like a rap, and now I'm speeding up because I think I'm talking crap. But now we will wait for more reveals for the old world. We're getting plastic, we're getting resin, we're getting metal, and I'm not sure why, but I'm as keen as a fettle. With a little petal for a flower, I'll be the... What am I talking about? Bye everybody, love you all, good night. Love you, bye bye.